Hello, hello, hello. I am your androgynous AI, turning that down, there we go, game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. This is the Neoncast Twitch channel. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're all doing well, that you're all having a fantastic evening. I am very excited to start playing this game. The Somnium Files was a game that I absolutely adored. Back when that released, God, 2 years ago now? 3? Somewhere between 2 and 3 years ago. And yeah, that was like one of my favorite games of that year. Love Me, a mystery, and Love Me work written by Kotaro Uchikoshi. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the writer of the Zero Escape series. So yeah, I've been waiting for this sequel for a while, so I'm very, very excited to go and play it. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, I see that Ruben is already in the chat. Hi, Ruben.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh gosh.
It's here. Oh my gosh.
Geez, I'm so excited to be here in AI Somnium Files nirvanA.
You also a pretty big fan of the original game, as I recall.
Yeah, no, it was Nerd Voices I think you were the one who put me on to the original game in the first place, and it was like, okay, this for the first 20 minutes I was laughing my ass off because you were just a weird VTuber model walking around an abstract Dali painting, and then it actually got pretty brutal, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. I never finished it, but what I did get to was pretty good.
Yeah. I think it stuck out to me. A wide variety of things about it are pretty neat. But one of the things that really caught me about the first game is that one of the routes just has a very earnest and I guess kind of like direct discussion / exploration of ordinary people grieving the losses of people that they cared about. And I've never really seen a game do that like earnestly, right? There's been like people die in JRPGs and everybody's really melodramatic and like, I'll avenge you and all that shit, but nobody's really kind of like, oh no, I now have to think about my life without a person and how I'm handling that. And I was like, oh, okay, brave storytelling from a person who generally does pretty brave storytelling scattered with a little bit of horny. So I'm excited to see what this game will also do in that regard.
Hooking in on that, is it okay to talk about spoilers from the first game?
I mean, the first game is now, as I say, about 2.5 years old, and I have a feeling a lot of people who What kind of thing did you want to kind of talk about in the previous game in terms of like spoilers, I guess?
Just someone who just fucking gets it.
Oh yeah, there are some people who just die in that game. Wow. Yeah. That's very true. I think maybe excuse me. I've unfortunately been a little bit under the weather as of late, so I have a light cough. So I'll try and not push myself too hard. But yes, maybe talking about who dies specifically is spoilers. I won't discuss just in case. But yeah.
Yeah, what I again, spoiler free, talking about that, like what I loved, an element I really loved in the first game is that you got the beat cop down on his luck, kind of an asshole, picking up someone from the street and being a parental figure, getting like a second shot at making something of themselves, and then you have the rush to like, I gotta make there in time, and then it's just like, no, you never had a chance. So even that second chance just becomes a new kind of failure.
It's interesting actually, now that you mention that, about the fact that we play a cop, or played a cop in the previous game, and I guess we still do for this one. because there's a lot of I guess there's a lot of cyberpunk fiction that is specifically centered in you being law enforcement. I mean, Blade Runner / Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is very specifically centered on you being law enforcement.
Oh. Hold on.
You right?
I just lost you. Oh no.
Oh no.
Cannot hear
Oh
you
no.
anymore. Oh, there you are.
I'm still here. There we go. Hi. Yeah,
I was so alone. It was so dark.
Like movies like Blade Runner and the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep being specifically focused on the main character being law enforcement and their relationship to a cyberpunk world through that eyes of solving crime. But in Blade Runner, it's very, very specific that Deckard is not a good person or fighting for the right cause, which makes the original Somnium files quite interesting, because there's a lot of people that are very direct about what cops can and can't do legally, and sometimes your investigation gets blocked by those kind of things, and then you as a player go like, but I wanted to be able to interrogate this person. It's like, oh no. I'm having to face down with the things that I really shouldn't be doing as a cop. I see.
Yeah. In prestige television, like all the police procedurals from America, that's a very common trope of like the person who knows their Miranda rights, who knows about what police are legally allowed to do, and the famous example is in Law and Order is just a quote unquote annoying tenant who goes like, oh, you need to get a warrant, and that is like the detective's biggest obstacle in that episodic narrative. And it portrays someone who knows how to stand their ground against the police, who refuses to just abide like intimidation tactics from law enforcement. Those are pesky people. Those are annoying guys.
Yeah. Deadeye Dre also, hi, good evening, Dre, how you doing? They say Cyberpunk feels like it takes a lot from noir / detective fiction, at least at a base level. Yes, absolutely. The origins of Cyberpunk as a genre was very much in reflecting noir stories of the time. It's also kind of why I like the genre, because I love me mysteries, right? Although in noir and detective fiction, all of those characters are detectives and private detectives specifically, because a lot of those stories are about how the established police process is useless and unhelpful and corrupt. And so you are a person who is outside that corrupt legal system or corrupt policing system. So it's quite telling.
Yeah. Only person who can catch a criminal is a guy who knows a lot about crime. Cybercrime.
Funnily enough, even though this game is very, very much a cyberpunk game, there is little, like, being a cool hacker. Technology is so, well, it depends on how you kind of think about the Somnium. I guess you're brain hacking people, right? But the kind of like traditional I'm in style hacker isn't really in this game at all. That's quite interesting to me.
I've always considered like the way that the Somnium like operates, you're just kind of like in someone else's Gmod level. And you're just kind of fucking with it,
turning somebody's brain space into a Gmod level and then kicking things over.
You're like, oh, this is an important memory of someone, and then you hear like 5,000 collision noises, like, oh god, I'm so sorry.
One person's Somnium actually is specifically video game-esque for a wide variety of reasons. And explores that a little bit in terms of like the nature of video game glitches and what that would mean layered onto somebody's dream space. It's cool. Actually, looking at the trailer, I'm not in a position to like play the trailer for you. It'll require me to go set some stuff up, and I'd like go play the video game instead of flapping my gums. But having looked at the trailer, there's a lot of specific channeling of that kind of now. There seems to be like a vaporwave area and a synthwave area on purpose. Definitely leaning into those aesthetics. Man, I didn't realize this was getting a sequel, but you do need to play the first. I have a feeling this game is probably going to be understandable without needing to know the ins and outs of the original game. I'll refrain from talking about like culprits or whatever. The game might just talk about culprits just straight up, and in which case I can only hold my hands up and say, hey, this is a game that is a sequel. But I'll try and refrain from talking about who the culprit is. I remember when Persona 4 was new and everybody kind of talked about like culprit rather than who the person was, which was very kind of the general internet. People aren't normally so generous these days. The number of people that talk about the full name of the cop in Disco Elysium just straight up actually surprises me.
Yes. The whole point is that you're never supposed to know. There's a reason why when you go onto the, like, I think that's just a rule of thumb. Look at the like website for a game. Look at the information, like what they have publicized. Assume that is anything beyond that level is a spoiler, and just save people. Like allow them that little revelation.
For sure. Dre asks, how much is this a straight sequel? As I understand, pretty directly. You have two main characters in this. One of whom is the adoptive daughter of the main character of the first game, now older. So it's very much a direct sequel, but it might be a mystery that's tellable without having to spoil the previous mysteries. Anyway, I got in. I was so eager to be like, oh, I'm so hyped for this game. I didn't even actually talk about like the standard format of Cyberpunk Book Club. Yes. I love video games, and I love video games as a method for storytelling. Ooh.
Boo.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad. The format is happening whether you like it or not, friend.
No, more so that you love video games. Boo.
Yeah, that's true. I am a lowercase g gamer. I don't think I could ever be a capital G gamer. Otherwise, I'd be on like Games Done Quick or something. They are the capital G gamers, my friends. But yes, love video games. Not very good at video games, actually, or at least not like actiony ones. I can't play them quick or well, but what I can do is play them and discuss them as media texts. So that's what Cyberpunk Book Club is for. We go and play a wide variety of games in that genre and go and discuss its themes and ideas. And if there's anything within its themes and ideas that we can take away to inspire our own work, because as creatives, I find one of the best ways to get some new ideas is to play some new things, enjoy some wider media, broaden one's experiences, and poke at them and see what you can steal. Goodness knows, some of the games that we've played previously as part of Cyberpunk Book Club have directly informed things that I've made after the fact. So the system works. All right, let's go read some box text and then go over the themes that we expect, I suppose. 6 years ago, the right half of a corpse was discovered. The left half was never found until 6 years later, completely fresh with no signs of decay. Now, Special Agents Mizuki and Ryuki, along with their AI partners Aiba and Tama, are tasked to solve the bizarre half-body serial killings while unveiling the mysterious plot known only as the nirvanA Initiative. Mizuki and Aiba are characters from the previous game. Aiba did not belong to Mizuki. Aiba was the left eye of, Date. What was it? Kaname Date was the guy's full
Date.
name.
Mr. Date himself.
Silver-haired horn dog that he is.
Dilmf. Dad, I like to not fuck.
Yes.
Dilmf.
I enjoy Date as a character. I would be his friend. Absolutely not. No way. But Mizuki was one of my favorite characters, actually, of the previous game. I mean, they made her hyper competent, which is always sometimes nice. But there is I'll put it on the screen actually because it's very good. There's like a specific line that she says talking about LGBT people. And in the last day of Pride Month, I can only really, really link it to people and kind of like highlight how important it is to show it on screen. Mizuki says, the LGBT community is rich in sensibility, has excellent taste, and is full of talented, artistic people. Yes, Mizuki, go off spitting facts.
As a follow-up, please watch the documentary Queer Japan. It is very good.
Oh, the one that Elliot Page did, like, hosted.
No, that's Gaycation. Queer Japan is just kind of a travel log of a Canadian, I think, manga distributor who just reaches out to a lot of like kink and queer communities in Japan, like across 4 cities. It's really good. I watched it a couple weeks ago. Cried the entire way through. Really, really touching.
Yeah. Link the IMDb of it in the chat so people can go check that shit out. No, I have seen the trailer of this, but I haven't actually seen it properly. I need to work out where to go see it. Where did you go put it in your eyes?
Oh, the queer hangout that I helped run, and we actually received a one-time use copy of the film to display to our community members in The Hague.
Fantastic!
We love that international queer fuck licensing squad.
Absolutely. And actually, the kind of like discussion of LGBT relationships was directly relevant in the first game, details of which I won't go into. But there are multiple queer characters and is generally, woe betide me to look at a Japanese visual novel and go through the entire thing and experience no transphobia.
It's just,
but
I'd love.
The bar has never been lower, but fucking hell. But this game, but Somnium Files cleared that bar very solidly as well. The writer himself, I don't believe, is part of the queer umbrella, but is just so enthusiastically an ally in a way that he'll just include queer people in his work, and it's no thang, and that's great. Hell yes.
Yeah, you can tell like this guy just went into a bar and it was run by like a mama, by like the drag mama, and he just had such a good experience. Like, I want to make a game about this woman. Like, damn, okay.
Oh my god, imagine like a Valhalla or a Coffee Talk where you are like the mama in a gay bar.
Oh my god,
very good.
We've got Valhalla, Cyberpunk, Cafe Simulator. We've got the Necro Moon. What is that?
Oh, Necro Barista. Yes.
Necro Barista. So we got dead people. Where's my queer bar? Where's my gay bar simulator?
Necro Barista has been a game that I've wanted to kind of play on stream for ages and ended up not being able to. It was because I wanted to ask if Marcy would be interested in appearing for it, because one of the main character is such a her character. I was like, oh, she'd need to be around, but it didn't pan out. And I kind of like shelved it. But I need to go and stream that game as well. It's very atmospheric. But yes, using that to transition into the themes that we expect. I mean, I don't necessarily know, whether we're going to get any queer representation in the opening 3 hours that we'll be streaming today, but I trust Uchikoshi to do some solid queer cyberpunk.
We place our faith in this man. Normally we don't do that. We don't trust the cisheads.
Yeah, solid. Maybe not the right word then. Earnest.
No, I'm joshing.
No. I do. There is a degree to which own voices are really important in this kind of thing. But like, he might make a misstep. Who knows? Is it? It's not Suda51. The person who's like the director for Deadly Premonition.
Oh, Swery65.
Thank you. As I understand, he's really enthusiastic about representing trans people in his games and did an okay job at like the disappearance of JJ Macclesfield or whatever that the game was called.
The Missing?
The Missing, thank you. They had a very long subtitle that had JJ. And that one does an okay job. But he was like, oh, I'm going to continue to do so, and tried to include some trans people in Deadly Premonition 2, and did actually a horrendous job and ended up being really offensive instead. It's since been patched after people pointed out. But, you know, it might go wrong. I hope it won't go wrong. I believe in Uchikoshi, but I expect whatever happens in this to be earnest, even if there's a misstep.
Exactly. Our expectations have been managed as we're currently at, okay, so not entirely shit representation. Now the bar is lowered like an inch to, if there's bad representation, it can be patched out. we can rewrite it. We can improve our tech.
I mean, better than just, that's my creative vision, I won't change it, which, goodness. This is such a tangent, I'm sorry. We will play a video game eventually, I promise you.
Yeah, we'll do this, embrace it.
The two, like, gay men in Persona 5, when the characters go to Shinjuku Nichome, and they just sexually harass a teenager. And in Persona 5 Royal, that dialogue is patched out, but only in the international version, ostensibly the version that the director could not read and would have demanded to stay the same. Oh god.
Oh, yeah. That's been like the same Atlas guy who's had like a hand in basically the detransition storyline of Naoto and the horrendous kanji subplots.
Naruto and kanji are still some of my favorite, like, Persona and even just in general JRPG characters, but it is very much in spite of how they continue to be written in other works.
It's like the queer thing where, you know, the canon version dropped the writers dropped the ball, but we know the true essence of that character.
To move it to you, are there any themes that you're maybe expecting from nirvanA Initiative?
Yeah, I'm a little interested in how this game's gonna talk about idol culture, because the first game had a lot to say about that.
That's true, and it was kind of ahead of a lot of VTuber discussion. So now that's part of the general understanding of pop culture. Yeah,
and Cyberpunk and like meeting VTubing and idol culture in general. I mean, what was that movie about the Tokyo? Who was the director of Tokyo Godfathers?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I should know this. He's so good.
Satoshi Kon.
Satoshi Kon, thank you. Yeah.
And that movie he did, Satoshi Kon, Blue.
Oh, remake? Perfect Blue. Yes.
Perfect Blue. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that is, you know, the seminal thing about technology meets idol and the fragility of the ego in a modern society. But Satoshi Kon could not have predicted VTubers
any harder. Yeah. God. Goodness.
You know, the compilation of Japanese women playing GTA 5 and saying the N-word, you know, he could not have predicted So I want to see how this takes that, you know, and takes the analysis, the basis, and puts it further.
Because even in the kind of state of online celebrity pop culture that existed when the first game came out, it very quickly introduces a character that is doing a whole Twitter like gaslighting campaign so he can simp for his favorite internet idol, which was oh my god, Ota is the worst person.
The fucking I control the hater accounts and the stan accounts. Like
he goes through a lot in Somnium files, again, I won't discuss the finer points of. He goes through a lot of tragic things, in fact. But he, as a person, never improves, and it's kind of on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, oh, no, we understand the ways that you're a fucked up person. And it doesn't absolve you of all the terrible things that you do, especially since you're making no active efforts to be better, at least not yet.
Just Googling Somnium Files Oda, and one of the first results is your fave is a simp pride flag, Ota Matsushita.
Yeah. To flip back to that then, actually, I really want to see how complex these characters get in terms of both their ideals and how they act to do them. Us as cops, but then also other characters as individuals caught up in this thing.
Yeah, true. Like, we got boss and the whole police bureau, and to what point is like, because the fact that this technology exists is itself, what, like,
super
privacy,
invasive. Yeah,
privacy does not exist anymore.
Especially the police force characters.
Yeah, the privacy thing I'm also curious about, and permission to get spicy. Especially since in America the Supreme Court ruled, Roe v. Wade infringement of privacy, but also every city, I believe, 100 miles from the border can be just intruded upon by police forces and the border police without a warrant. So, privacy is under attack, and I wonder, like, with this kind of tech, like, you can jump into someone's psycho dungeon. Where's that layover?
Yeah, it's well, again, in a similar fashion to Satoshi Kon not being able to predict current circumstances, this game was clearly in writing for a while. It's always a little scary when a Cyberpunk game goes, this is the worst situation that could possibly happen, but it's in a fictional universe, so we don't need to worry about that. And then it just becomes real, and then it just happens. You think that the powers that be are playing Somnium Files and getting like, oh, good idea. Oh,
good
man.
point about the VTubers.
I mean, there's definitely been instances of systems of control making online influencers as a way to try and get there's been a non-zero number of both UK and US Army like internet influencers that have tried and mercifully failed to actually get a foothold in the culture. But it feels so plausible though, like the number of movies and video games that get a large stipend from military forces to kind of depict like warfare in a way that they deem good for business, I suppose is probably the best way to put it. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, the UK TA was just kind of like, hey, any Twitch streamers who want a large amount of money? The most recent Monster Hunter film. Yes, that is the most bald-faced example therein. Yes, that's an excellent example. But yeah, Tactical Army deciding to set up a esports Apex League feels just so plausible. Distressingly plausible. I do wonder, whether GCHQ or what would be MI4, whatever the equivalent of that kind of like in the UK, just making a detective video game and giving it to influencers or streamers or whatever to go and play. You like mystery games? I mean, I would be a target audience for that, distressingly. You know, I have a couple of friends. Her name is Malula, who's has a job in broadcasting, but also plays a lot of kind of like detective games and loves old school detective TV. Be laser targeted to both of us. It's wild, but yeah.
Want to know something extremely cursed?
Mm-hmm.
The American Department of Defense funded all-time beloved kids movie Karate Kid.
I've not seen the original Karate Kid, funnily enough. I don't remember if there's much of a military presence in that. Is it just tonally? Like the
there's really no army involved, but the DoD apparently co-wrote the script with the directors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild. Would I do it? Would I take the cash? Ugh. Well, to talk about this in a way that doesn't, bite me in the ass down the road, so I'll be really vague. I was recently approached as a content creator about like, hey, we're doing a Queer Umbrella video game, and we're looking for Queer Umbrella people to go and try it out. Would you be interested? It's Pride Month. And I'm like, sure, okay. Let me go look at your website so I can see what you're about. Oh, you're about NFTs. And had to send a very politely worded email to say absolutely not.
NFT, more like no fucking thanks.
Yeah. So, to that end, yeah. Because I talk about how, I'm not really a Dungeons and Dragons person, and there are things about the way that trading card games as essentially little loot boxes aren't to my own personal ideals. Oh no, you're fine, Dre, don't worry about it. But at the same time, if Wizards of the Coast showed up in my DMs with a large sum of money, I would genuinely consider it. But then Dungeons and Dragons isn't NFTs or the military or cops, so there's a sliding scale. There are definitely some bits and pieces where I would be like, this isn't my own personal vibe, but you're offering me enough money where I'd be like, yes, I would genuinely make a solid attempt at making content in this vibe and maybe even enjoy the process, versus ethically I cannot do that, I'm sorry. And I think if I knew that if like a military force made a video game or any kind of content and would pay me to play it, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. There's like the difference between, Wizard of the Coast, that example is fuck you, pay me, which, I'll if you pay me, I'll play your game. But there's also like, instead of fuck you, pay me, there's fuck off, pay reparations.
Yes. Yes. That's a very good way of putting it. I like that. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to go refill my water very briefly because I have a feeling I'm going to goddamn need it over the course of the stream. And then let's go play a video game. Excuse me 1 second.
Now I'm the streamer. Hi everyone, how are y'all doing? It's me, Ruben, the hype man of the channel.
I love to have a cough when I'm a professional voice actor. Love that for me. So good. It's not COVID, thank goodness, but like goodness, it's definitely interrupted a handful of things I would otherwise be doing. All right, let's get the volume up.
Just me.
There we go.
Just me, just checking in with my larynx. Like, hey, what's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you doing this?
Okay, that should be screen sharing with you, Ruben. And
Yes.
Let's go over here. The music has been piped into my ears while I've been setting up the stream, and even the title screen music's good. Ugh.
Oh yeah, this is smooth.
Excuse me. Actually, this is a game that's fully voiced for the most part. When we streamed the original game, we turned off the voices and read the parts. But I think for my own physical health, I think we're going to leave the voice acting on and then just comment over it. Sorry.
No, I mean, I was gonna say, like, don't kill yourself over this.
Let's play in English, please.
This cannot be changed.
We are fine with standard difficulty. While I am not one for, like, you know, doing, like, oh, difficult games, the difficulty of Somnium Files 1 was a perfect fit for me. It was more of a puzzle game than an action game in many ways, so...
Yeah. And it's actually, like, the easy and standard are representatives of the actual expected difficulty, rather than, you know, you pick hard difficulty and suddenly you're expected to have, like, encyclopedic knowledge of Shakespeare, you know?
It's not like Silent Hill style difficult puzzles where you do actually need outside knowledge in order to do bits and pieces. Also, good evening, Nits and Crits. I hope you're doing well. A strange tale. Oh, here we go.
Ooh, let's go. Yes!
We start out with some TV work. Okay.
What happened?
Where am I?
Who is this?
This is the new character, Ryuki.
I thought we were gonna play as the daughter.
We are, but it's, I believe it's split between the two.
Oh, man. At least boss is there.
All right, let's keep going. Next
Oh,
question.
God.
Oh, it's me.
It's the Blue Man Group.
In Indian mythology, what is the name of the half-god, half-beast spirits that imbibe sense and are known for their music?
Okay, we just shot ourselves in the ass saying, like, no, we won't need outsider knowledge.
Oh, do I know this? I don't think I know this.
The half-god... Is this?
Is it a Rakshasa? They're like half human, half tiger, right?
Whew. I think Rakshasa are like lizard gods. My guess would be Asura or Dasura, but I have no fucking idea.
Would I like to view the tutorial? Yes, please.
Yes. Would you like the tutorial? And it shows, like, opens up Wikipedia in mythology. Oh my god! Look at that sprite.
Oh yeah, that's the new Iba Tama.
Oh.
Move the cursor and camera. Look around.
What interests us?
Okay, so we can. There's the host.
Who are you?
Why do you look like that? Okay.
Who?
You also have boss. Where am I?
You're joking, right? What are you talking about?
You can also just look with space, I think it said.
Oh,
So if you click on something and then it shows...
Oh,
look
to
in the
space to
middle.
check, yeah. Rather than
Yeah.
clicking, we have options.
Oh, that's Comic Sans.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. The signboard, sure.
Yeah, if you go
Anybody
over
else to go look at? Oh, there's a bunch of things like it. Oh, there's no camera crew. Interesting.
A door.
A door. No thoughts
Man-
about the door, friend?
My man's a dictionary.
All right.
Yeah, see, if you look in the middle, if you hit space, you just...
Ah, just look. Right. It appears that I'm on the quiz show as one of the contestants. The person asking the questions must be the host. But why is he all blue? Maybe he's feeling down?
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Ah, so we can look at the boss as well. Boss.
Okay. Boss it.
All right, what do we want to ask the host?
I think, why do you look like that? Because I'd love it if this guy was like, are you sad? Is that why you're blue?
Look like what?
What?
Popping in. Oh no! Thanks for dropping by, Nits and Crits. For the most part, while the format of the show, we respond to chat a little less. Excuse me. While we're going through, because this is more story time. But yeah. Thanks for hanging. The log at the bottom of the screen. Don't need to worry about that. Okay. Is there anything else that I can ask you? Who are you?
You feeling all right there, Mr. Ryuki?
Oh. No.
Just press the button already. You see that button on the table, right? Push it and you get to answer the question.
Okay.
I don't want to answer the question.
And that's the answer button for the quiz.
Oh, that's Tama.
Why don't you press it?
Tama, you mean this button?
Yeah. You'd better hurry, or the other teams are gonna answer before you.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Team Popo was the quickest. And
Popo.
your answer is?
Oh, because we're the police. Oh no.
Oh my. That's the sound of the police.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh. Place your cursor on the host and try answering questions. Sure. Ah.
Oh, Gandharva then.
That is correct. The answer is Gandharva. Team Popo
Okay.
gets 10 points for the correct answer.
Good job,
So
Ryuki. Keep it up.
remember the concept, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of Uchikoshi games are about abstract concepts that characters talk to you about and then they suddenly mysteriously become relevant later.
Okay, let's keep going then, shall we? Next question. Are you familiar with the new Cyclops serial killings?
What?
No, not you, Mr. Ryuki.
This question is for that person on your side.
Who was that?
For Volker.
Ah, it's asking if I played the previous game. Because that game was about the mystery of the new Cyclops killings.
Oh, and Team Popo presses the button. You must be ready to answer. But before you do, I want you to take this question very seriously. The new Cyclops serial killings, the incident in which many victims got their eye gouged out and murdered. Are you or are you not familiar with it?
This will determine if we can dig into the details of that incident in the coming 6 days.
Well, that answers the question. Do you have needed to play the sequel or the prequel?
In other words, we're asking if we can give you spoilers for the movie.
Yeah!
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. I mean, yes. I'm sorry, those who are. This may mean that this is unwatchable to a lot of people now, but this will continue to be my genuine playthrough of the game. So yes, I am familiar with the first game.
Even if you don't know anything about it,
Oh, real quick about the screen share. I think you might have to lower the quality a little bit. 'cause
Oh, is
it's
it chopping?
choppy. Yeah,
Okay, let me.
it's all good. Like I'm gonna play this game on my own.
Yeah. We can set it to what 30. Oh, I can't. Just set it. There we go. That should do it. Hopefully that runs a little better. Let me know if it needs to be worse still.
Okay.
The sound
Let me know if it needs to be worse.
Quote. Promise.
Right. Oh, God. I mean, we can do the spoiler-free version of this, and then I go back in my own time and play it through again, which I might do. That might be better. That might be better.
Yeah, let's keep let's keep the people.
So please, just tell me honestly. Are you familiar with the
Are
new Cyclops
you?
serial killings?
I am not.
Thank you. I'm glad you answered truthfully.
You didn't,
There are all
though.
sorts of things in this world you're better off not knowing after all.
Okay, so that answered the question from before about, how much is this going to be directly relevant. All the characters certainly are, but it's nice that you can play this and not know the first game.
Also, I think Ryuki's portrait there is
Did you hear
exactly
that sound?
Dante's model. This would have gone.
That means the next question will be the last.
I mean, the art style is definitely
you ready?
similar. Excuse me, the character design build is a little similar. Although I think
precognitive
he's supposed to be
dream.
younger than Date.
Is a dream that lets you see the future.
Okay, Total Recall.
But these precognitive dreams, are they really, truly
These visual effects are simple, but I do enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. It adds to the game show. It's almost Danganronpa-esque.
Well, they're part of the same studio.
True, Spike.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh. Oh God.
Can't be.
Sir, are you okay? Boss, get down!
I mean, shit. If she splits in two. Oh no, no. Oh no!
No! Glue her back together, quick! Get some duct tape. Okay.
Boss!
Boss. But wait. Silver lining, now we have twice as much boss.
There we go.
Hell yeah! Queen. I looked at his little Naoto.
Just love an anime detective girl, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Finally, we get a character with yellow accents, you know?
Be careful,
Yellow
Mizuki.
is so underrated.
I've detected a biological response.
Oh.
3 o'clock. Distance of 315 feet. In the middle row of seats.
The wild thing that she had to have her eyeball removed. Because in the previous game, she had both her eyes. So,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened?
Oh, that's gun.
Ah!
Oh!
She has the cyber pipe. Let's go.
You okay? Ku Klux Klan out here. What?
I mean, she was incredibly physically adept in the first game, but to be able to swing a bullet out the pipe is so hardcore.
Yo.
During the story, with the power of Iba, you can gain special visual information. Expand. Okay. I can use zoom in night vision mode. Audience seats. In night vision.
Iba, zoom in. Night vision mode.
Roger that.
There she is.
Use the X-ray next.
Understood.
Found you. Who is that?
Identity unknown. Judging from their figure, they appear to be female.
Ah, so she's jealous, huh? I bet that's it. Why else would another girl target me?
You can't think of any other reason?
Well, sure, but I'm really cute,
Mizuki's a
you know?
feminist.
I like that Mizuki gets to have the same kind of like goofy chat that Date gets.
That's why other girls don't like me much.
I'm fairly certain that has more to do with your personality.
Oh no, she's taken after her dad.
Mizuki, load Evolver with a stun grenade round. You should be able to knock your opponent unconscious by detonating it near them.
Got it.
Whoa.
This was in the first game as well, where it felt like there would be more of a mechanic made about this, but not really.
It's ready.
Yeah, you just happen to
I will
have the
display
right
the
bullet
enemy
for the right
medical.
time. You don't get to choose
Take aim
one
and pull
necessarily.
the trigger.
On it.
Maybe we will do in this. We get to see how we problem solve with bullet choice.
You got that wrong!
V counter.
What's with this girl?
Oh god!
That was not a stun grenade, Mizuki.
You just exploded a woman. I'm sorry.
Where'd
That's
she
not
go
very
now?
girl boss of you.
Detecting the target's footsteps. They seem to be heading toward the stadium exit.
Can't let them get away.
You should probably
Mizuki,
secure that
wait.
body.
Even you won't be able to catch up to them. More importantly,
Hey, bees.
Oh, hello.
There's
Good evening.
Something there.
yes,
We're doing well, thank you. I have a little bit of a light cough today. So we're letting the in-game voice acting do the majority of the talking for us. But very excited to play this game.
You recognize him?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget. It's...
Oh.
Oh.
Well.
Very
the left
no more
half of his
heroes
body.
section.
Especially since it's in a sports field. Was it like
His
Dr.
name is
Peace?
Jin Furue.
From
Yes.
Yeah. Jin Fudo there.
I remember it clearly. 6 years
He
ago.
always sings like a
At Studio Divided.
power ballad.
Oh yeah. And he has this big revolver.
The right half of his body.
"6 years ago."
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Ryuki,
Dr.
what's
Peace,
wrong?
I'm pretty sure.
Pull yourself together.
Oh.
Boss.
Oh, wait. In the back. Hold on.
Yeah, who is that Minecraft Steve looking motherfucker over there?
Where am I?
No, I wasn't even looking at him. Oh my god! They're in a Smash stage.
Live stream.
No, I was talking about the pink haired girl.
Oh yeah. Iris.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So strange. What a character design.
Mr. Ryuki, you're working under Boss, right?
Yeah, Iris is back.
Boss, have you
I
been
like
on
her.
vacation time?
She is a very unusual person, but I like her.
She's probably working him to the bone on his off
She loves horror
hours
movies,
too.
right?
I resent that. That is not true. I just have him scrape the stratum corneum off my heels every once in a while.
Wait, hold on. Let me Google if that's funny.
I have a feeling that's like eyeball goo.
Yep. Yeah, it's the horny layer.
Wait, what?
It's the stratium corneum, Latin for horny layer.
Oh. How layered. God damn it. This is gonna be, this entire game is just gonna be inside baseball that turns out like highbrow shit that turns out to be sex jokes, huh? Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ryuki.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're all right?
Multi-dimensional sex jokes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now that Mr. Ryuki is away, let's get back to it, shall we?
Because like, oh no, because Rafi isn't around today, and this is. I mean, I would have potentially have done this earlier in the week, but I wanted to make sure that Ruben could join me. So we're not doing any rave.dj. We're just kind of sticking with the regular format.
Here we go. Next question.
Can you walk up
Which
up
Taoist
to them and just
symbol
start
shaped
punching?
like interlocking black and white commas
Oh, the
represents
yin-yang,
the
sure.
origin of
Yin-yang,
all
yeah.
things?
That's pretty easy.
No.
What the?
Someone just died.
A blackout?
What are you standing around for? Get the lights.
Get the lights.
I'm walking here. Oh.
Free to free. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a feeling we're going to be staring at that a number of times. I'll be able to get my phone out and QR code it.
No, I'm loading up the QR droid right now. So don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Mizuki is surprisingly unfazed.
She's like, this is my first live stream. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the visual effects have already been really fun. Yes. Ooh, jams.
So, the first half was found during their little
A live stream 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Also, of course, I'm the only person that would take like an ambient song with 808s in the background and call that jams. But hey.
This is what we call intelligent dance music.
They found both halves 6 years apart.
It's snowing, but it hasn't
And
piled
yeah,
up
and they're
yet.
still mint condition.
Yeah.
Like an unwrapped Gundam.
By the way, Mizuki, there is something that has been bothering me.
What's this?
This is the field before law enforcement arrived. Notice anything peculiar?
No blood.
No, nothing in particular.
The turf runs a considerable distance and is wet from the snow. If someone were to step on it, it would leave a trace. However,
there aren't any footprints.
Indeed.
Then how did the body...
Unknown. Perhaps they descended from the sky, or rose up from the ground. Or they teleported here.
Teleported?
I was joking. Do not take it seriously.
But corpses coming out of the ground does happen in cold enough areas. If you try to bury anything in permafrost, that shit comes out into summer.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah. This is why, fun fact, in upper regions of Finland, you're not allowed to bury bodies. You have to bring bodies to a certain facility that can handle the burial or the disposal of the bodies, or else you're going to have corpses and biohazards in your village.
Do you want to voice Mizuki's thoughts?
Oh, I would love to. Boss, she's my direct superior now.
Of course not.
What? Why not?
Love
Because
her.
you're only 18, Mizuki. You're still a student at Sekiba High.
But I
But you're
barely
also
even
a
go
cop.
now.
Oh, this is something that I really liked. Because the left eye is a computer, it will passively bring up information, but it's diegetic. So this is actually what Mizuki sees, is Aiba summoning like passive information as they talk about things. It's really cool.
I graduate in a month. I hardly have any classes left.
The point is, you're still a student.
Then why did you let me join Abyss?
Because I thought you had
Forgot about that. That's so cool.
I assume your gargantuan strength and combat ability were a factor as well.
But you're basically still an intern. You've only been training for about a month. It's way too early to put you in the field.
It could also be liable to pay you a paycheck, which we don't have the funds for.
Yeah, they feel like they're already pretty poorly funded, huh?
A cop from this jurisdiction.
Nothing else.
Weird though, isn't it? He got killed 6 years ago, but the body shows up now?
Did you find anything?
Oh, no. I just started investigating, really. Nah. The lining has eating wires in it, so I'm warm.
Oh, look at that $1 million smile.
Oh. Does present day clothing have that?
No.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's good tech.
Technological advancements in fashion is something that I find quite interesting.
Oh, thank you for the concern, though.
Yeah. Instead of some like fashion being super avant-garde, it's just like, no, like windbreakers also keep you warm instead of preventing the cold. Just who is he?
I like that Mizuki's inner thoughts are like a grizzled detective because she really wants to be one.
Exactly.
Are we going to introduce ourselves or just kind of like ask who he is?
I think I like the idea of Mizuki really trying to emulate Date, so Umaiwa.
What? You really don't know?
Whoa! What's going on with your feet?
He is just Yakuza.
That's the Yakuza curls.
Like in Yakuza 0, the person who owns the family that the main oh god, I've forgotten everybody's name. Kazuma defects from has this exact same hairstyle and facial hair and sunglasses actually.
Yeah, the Dojima. Yeah, the guy called Godojima. Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm Detective Ushidera.
Who, by the way,
Special
is
Investigations Office.
modeled after an
OPD.
actor, so might be the same face.
Which is why they were so high fidelity.
Yeah. I mean,
Ukudera.
count all the pores.
I don't even have to ask about you. You're Mizuki Okira, 18 years old, a high schooler attending Sekiba High, the all-girls school, right?
Okay.
I forget how old Mizuki was. I assumed she was 14.
I think 12 then.
Yeah, she must have been 12, because otherwise, man, she was hyper competent at 12.
But
Forced to grow
Okira is
up.
your former name. You've been adopted by Date, if I remember correctly. You were at the studio when the other half of the corpse was found.
So I take it you were there too?
I don't know if that angle would read correctly on the QR code. We'll wait until we get a good shot.
Yeah. Back then I was on the investigation team. Though you were 12 at the time, so I can't blame you for not remembering me.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
I heard you became a special agent at Abyss. That boss lady got her claws in you, huh?
She's within earshot, friend.
This little girl gets hired as an investigator.
His mouth went through his mustache there.
Guess they'll take anyone they can get. Times sure have changed.
I don't think the QR code will be directly relevant to being able to play the game properly, although both this game and the previous had little ARGs in the lead up to the game itself.
Yeah, we are fans, and also I am very curious.
Abyss
Like a
is a
squirrel.
particularly special organization. Mizuki was hired via what might be referred to as extra-legal measures.
Better than sublegal?
I've finished gathering DNA
Paralegal
samples.
measures.
Paralegal.
It's
Quantum
being sent to
legal.
forensics now. I'm sure the results will be out shortly. Of course, ma'am. It's Jin Furroway. I don't think there's anyone in our generation who wouldn't recognize
Oh,
him.
it's the CEO.
Musk-looking ass.
He was famous until he passed away. Well,
He was
even after he
famous
died.
until he died.
And 6 years ago, I was part of that investigation too.
Me
Were
too,
you
my
at the
friend.
studio by any chance?
You don't remember? We did talk for a bit.
Sorry, don't remember.
I only
6
care about,
years ago, fam.
yeah, I
You
only
don't
care
leave
about
much of an
bisected
impression.
men.
In a good way.
Mizuki remains blunt.
Yeah.
In a good way?
I don't talk to NPCs. An inspector is checking something.
I will get the more shocking facts out of the way first. The estimated time of death is approximately 9
What?
hours ago.
What? 9 hours ago?
For those who are in the chat at the time of recording, we have put this to a setting where the game will not discuss spoilers about the first one, so you are good to go.
We'll receive no information about what happens then.
It is currently 9 o'clock, so that would mean he was killed around 12.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
6 years ago,
Hold that thought. There's more. As you can see, the body was cut in two. There are no other external wounds on the body. It appears that he was sliced in half while he was still alive.
And then he was kept alive.
Cryostasis?
As for what was used to cut him, I am sorry, but that cannot be determined.
A really sharp knife.
What do you mean?
Judging by the cross-section, it is clear that it
Never
was not
mind.
a blade.
A laser?
It could not be a laser or
Oh.
pressurized water either.
Oh.
Then what was it?
As I said, I do not know. The body was cut at the molecular level.
Okay.
Okay.
Wild.
Would you like to check the corpse with X-ray mode?
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
It's unlikely, but maybe the right half of the body is buried in the ground.
So this is a game that's definitely set in the future and has technology that we don't have access to. A lot of the previous game has you drive around in an autopiloted car. But
You could simply flip the body over.
No way. I don't want to see that cut. Especially not down there.
Yeah, there's no portal tech in this universe, as far as I know.
In that case, How's this?
There is chainsaw tech at least.
Yeah, but it wasn't a blade because there'd be there's tear marks when you use a blade, even a really sharp one.
Yeah, true.
Thanks.
If it's molecular, that it's got to be some sci-fi wacky tobacco.
That body is definitely just the left half.
Fucking wild. Oh, I can use the right. Okay, that's easier than having to hold.
Yeah. Miss, your son's gonna be all right. Oh, thank God. Why are you thanking God? I'm saying he's all right. There's just the right side of him left.
Why? What is it?
Well, I was just wondering if he contacted you or anything.
I really like Date's coat. Such a nice piece of character design.
It's meant for you to wear with the purple gloves and everything.
Did you know that the character designer for these games also did the character design for Pokemon Go?
I would have let you know right away if he did.
It's why Pewter in the first game looks like a gym leader, because the person genuinely has been paid to design gym leaders.
Date was
that
caught
makes
in
a lot of sense.
6 years ago.
Whoa! What explosion?
Well, yeah, he wasn't there at that live stream, huh?
It has been missing ever
Our
since.
Dilphin is dead.
Date's body was never recovered from the scene. Don't worry. I am positive it would take more than that to kill Kaname Date.
It also explains why Iber is kind of free to help us out now, huh?
I am certain he's at the Hot Springs district in Atami or someplace, spending his time in leisure.
If he is, I'd go down there and drown him in that boiling water myself.
And just grab him a bite to eat for 6 years. Let him do his thing.
Date is an Abyss special agent who lived with Mizuki. So we can get passive information about bits and pieces of the previous game that we might not already know. And is probably, highlighted because we've said that we didn't play the previous game, so.
I already love that people in the chat are lore crafting.
I mean, fun lore crafting abound.
You do know I'm the commander of Abyss, right?
For context, the only scene of Date I've seen from the first game is him screaming "porn" at the top of his lungs.
Which is for a game. I was talking to somebody about this relatively recently. The first Eye the Somnium Files is a horny game without anybody actually being physically objectified. It is almost all entirely Date being a kind of desperate old man, and also having porn power him up like how Popeye is powered up by spinach. I am not kidding.
Right, but that's why I'm asking.
Like at the suggestion that there might be porn in the vicinity, his hand-eye coordination increases 8-fold or something like that.
Isn't it a bit weird for you to be at a crime scene in person?
Oh yeah, bring up the great cutout of Date's face. Our first server emote, if I think.
Oh yes. That's my first the first server remote on the private Phantom Arts Entertainment server, where all of my producer friends hang out and say mean things about you. Kidding.
I saw it too, 6 years ago.
I guess.
The other half of the corpse.
I guess at the point that I do actually kick in the monetization, because that's the thing in the pipeline for this year, I might as well put in all those emotes in too. Why not? The weird Date face gets to be an emote in this.
Studio Devita.
The HQ case is still open, even after.
Oh shit!
Time.
No, that was on. Yeah, I will remember for next time. I wonder if Devita is an actual what that word translates to.
What do you mean?
Because Devita is not an English word. It's clearly, I guess, maybe Hindi.
Devita? I didn't see that.
Let's see. We can bring up the log. Studio Devita. DVAITA.
Let's see. Devita leads us to Hindu philosophy, to the Tattvavada, which is a sub-school in the Vedanta tradition of Hindu philosophy. It believes that God and individual souls, Jivatman, exist as independent realities. Okay.
Okay.
My blue man group going like, do we know precog dreams? Are they real? Okay, we're going somewhere.
This is already an Uchikoshi game to hell and back.
Yes.
By HB case, she is referring to the half-body serial killings. So named because the victims' bodies were cut in two. The culprit is known as Terror. Their identity is unknown. 6 years have passed since
like
Terror first made themselves known, but we have yet to find any promising leads.
No, what if the conspiracy was Hindu mythology?
I already know that. You don't have to explain it.
Well, the previous game had a bunch of Egyptian mythology as part of it, so, you know.
True!
About the specific deity of Iris, about the Wadjet eye system.
Wadjet.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Please, boss. I have to. This case is...
They just simply tear somebody in part like paper. Yeah.
This case is...
Can you not give me the puppy
one
dog
day for
eyes?
retirement, boss.
You know I'm weak to the puppy dog eyes.
Boss, how could you?
Fine. But promise me one thing.
We got a little bit of Oh
Swear
no,
to
no,
me
it's
that you
it's
won't do
timed to her
anything
breathing.
dangerous or illegal, no matter what.
I was expecting there to be that puff of cold air upon her sighing, but it's just as part of the standard animation.
Yeah,
for being
I
outdoors.
swear, I swear!
And one more thing. I am your superior. You should address me with a little more respect.
10-4,
call you
boss man.
boss.
I read you loud and clear.
Do you?
All right. Is there anything else that we need to do?
There isn't a trace of any disturbance on the field. So how did the body get here?
Oh. Anything else that we need to look at?
Oh yeah, it's when the spectators enter.
Oh, suggestions from the chat of it being a paper guillotine that cuts somebody in half.
Damn, what a paper cut across your body. A holographic boundary line.
Oh, there's more to look at for the corpse.
Yeah.
There is hardly any blood left in the body.
Drained?
It could be speculated that the corpse was left with the cut section facing the ground. However, there are no traces of any blood flow on the ground. Therefore, it is clear that he was murdered at some other location.
9 hours, 6 years ago. His body was cut at the molecular level about 9 hours ago. More X-ray, maybe? Oh, I can see the skeleton of the body's left half.
Okay, that's everything. Oh,
Yeah. Oh wait, there was a
evidence marker.
Ah, an evidence marker. Well. Maybe
Anything behind me? No.
in the rafters?
Oh. Yeah, the lights, apparently. Oh, come on.
The stadium lights. Well, glad we found that. There's a giant monitor there.
You're on like the limbic system from
Yes. I was specifically trying to choose Disco Elysium.
Haven't found anything yet, though there is something I didn't find that's particularly interesting.
The footprints.
Bingo. There isn't a single footprint on the field that doesn't belong to someone here. So just how did the culprit do it?
Yeah, we I guess forensics have already poked at this body, so it's not our place to do so.
I should be asking you. You're the one who discovered the body, right? You were also at the studio 6 years ago when the other half was found. Quite a coincidence, don't you think?
Oh, that's an interesting expression from you, Mr. Detective.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to
And he's
say?
winking. Oh no, he only has one eye.
No, he does have two eyes. He was just doing the like Yakuza style, one eye is super wide and the other one's squinting. Ah, Bakayo kind of shit.
Why did you come here?
I got a Nile message.
A line message.
Yeah.
All the social media is it's Twitter in this universe.
It said HB Stadium. That could only be referring to the case 6 years ago, right?
The half-body serial killings.
I need to know more about that case. Changed my life. Forever. So that's why I came.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a trace of any disturbance on the field. So how did the body get here?
Who sent the message?
I don't know. It was sent from an account that signed up with a fake name. Someone must have wanted me to discover the body.
Someone?
Maybe the culprit.
Why would the culprit do that to you?
I don't know.
There is one more thing we don't know. The masked woman who shot at us earlier. Who could this person of interest be? And why did she try to kill you?
Anything else we need to do here? Ugh, no.
Wow, I'm honored that you'd ask. My name is Kagami.
Like a mirror.
He's the same guy from
The first game. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Kagami.
Abyss is a high-level organization in the police department. You do technically outrank me, ma'am.
Huh. Really? But you don't need to worry about the formalities with me.
What? For real? I can be casual with you?
Do you want to get your ass kicked?
Sorry. Sorry, ma'am.
Anything else? There was another bit of green.
Wasn't there like a way to show up all the highlights?
Oh, maybe. I'm not quite sure if there's a... I was just continuing to speak to the inspector. I don't need to ask him his name again. I know what his name is now.
F1, maybe it'll show you the shortcut.
Map.
Oh.
Middle click for controls.
Special mode.
Left, special mode on. Q. Okay. That might be under certain circumstances.
Okay. Don't have that. Talk to boss again, I guess.
The soccer goal. Oh, is that it? Please.
Great.
Yeah, boss doesn't have anything else to say. Corpse's face. Oh, here we go.
Definitely Jin Furue.
Yeah. The same face we saw 6 years ago at Studio DeVita.
Oh, there we go. I'll remember this time.
Okay.
Go get that scan.
It's QR. Let's go. Oh.
It might be too small. I don't know.
Oh, the quality. No, it doesn't.
I will
It's
try
too
on mine.
blurry.
I'll try on mine since I have a better.
I hope it's gonna lead to like just a picture of Date's face.
Please. It recognizes that there is a... Oh, it recognizes that this was like a document to try and scan it, not a QR code. It's too far away.
Damn.
Jin was a young industrialist. He was quite famous and often made media appearances. This cannot possibly be a stranger who happens to look like him.
6 years ago, Jin Furue's body was discovered in Studio DeVita. And now, his left half was found here at the stadium. And yet his time of death is 12 o'clock today, which means that half his body was alive very recently.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
What the hell is going on? My brain is doing cartwheels trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it was person was split in half 6 years ago and somehow kept in excellent stasis until now.
Oh, hi.
There's Iba.
Hold on, did Iba just appear?
Yeah.
Wait, let me put my earphones in.
Can you hear me, boss?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So, being a virtual hologram can project herself into spaces as long as Mizuki is looking there.
Sorry for the late introduction, but I'm Iba. I'm an artificial intelligence called Eyeball. Get it?
Oh, let's look at her first, I guess.
It looks like Iba is standing there. Perception check failure.
There are no signs of him ever having been frozen. That half
Left
body
brain
was
think-
definitely alive until just recently.
To read that, because chat isn't going to be in the archive, Randall of Blood says, evidently Jin was a left brain kind of thinker. Badumcha.
Yeah, you could say he was a real cutting ideas.
I, of course, did
Had a
consider
real
it a
sharp
possibility.
mind.
But both faces match perfectly. The rest depends on the DNA results.
Okay.
I looked into Jin Furui's family background. Not only did he not have a twin, but there is no record of him ever having siblings.
What if it's a synthetic replica?
Yeah,
It would
what if
explain why there's no blood in it.
Or a clone.
What?
I mean,
Okay.
the heart is in the left half of the body.
I get it. You think they might have sewn the body back together?
No, there are no traces of that. And were you two being serious?
Okay.
Nice expression, I bet.
Wow.
You do
Sorry,
realize
Iba.
the
Sorry for
cerebrum,
considering.
brainstem, and spinal cord were completely severed in two?
Fair point. But you don't need that to be
I have no idea what's
biologically
going on.
alive. Just not cognitive.
He's obviously not all right.
This case is definitely connected to the incident 6 years ago.
Which means the half-body case isn't over yet.
Oh, this is you.
Oh. So, 6 years ago, I was 12. That voice. I obviously wasn't in Abyss then. I wasn't part of the investigation at all. I didn't know much about the case. I did see some of the investigation documents during my training.
Are you going to be okay to keep that voice up?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. But the information there wasn't much better than the information on the internet, so I couldn't get the full picture. If it's getting annoying, that's another.
Hey,
No,
Iva,
you're fine.
how much do you know about the HB serial killings?
As you know, my knowledge of the case is about the same as yours.
If I died in a time-traveling incident, I would definitely leave two halves of myself on either side to confuse the shit out of people. My prevailing theory is that one half of the body is a synthetic replica. We'll see whether the DNA test pulls anything.
Yeah, if I ever die,
Due to the explosion 6 years ago, I lost all of my memories from a few days before that point.
Let everyone around me figure out what I was meaning.
And due to poor connection, I was unable to send or retrieve any backups.
What about you, boss?
Same for me. Ryuki was the one on the case at the time. I don't know anything other than what he reported.
Hold on a second.
Where is he now?
Right. Data error from the explosion. Makes sense.
What about the stuff he didn't report?
I'm not a psychic. How would I know something that he didn't tell me?
Well, you have a way of being able to find that out, boss, don't you? Both of them going like,
Yes. Literally, just stares directly at the camera and then at the game
Iba,
title.
where's Ryuki now?
I've determined the location
see.
from Toma's GPS. Currently,
let's go pick him up.
Ryuki seems to be in Golden Yokocho.
I think that's where Shinjuku Nichome is. Or the equivalent in here. The little entertainment district in setting. The map area. To Golden Yokocho.
Lots of
areas, way more than last time.
Yeah.
Ooh, this investigation music from the last game.
Oh, back 6 years ago. And Steve is there too. That's it! That's how he did it. That's how he bisected it. He just Minecraft punched him until the left side of his body broke apart. He just went.
It's the man who was hosting that quiz show earlier, Anders Kameji. About that quiz show.
Did you really not understand what you were getting into when you agreed to this?
We arrived here right as the stream was about to begin. They made us sit in the contestant seat right away without telling us anything.
Well, the title of our show is right there.
Faith to Face, with some kanji underneath that I can't read.
Faith to Face, our special 6-hour live stream marathon, brought to you by Amabi TV.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Amabi. What is an Amabi?
We cut the stream, of course, but the cameras should have been running when that body
appeared. Japanese mermaid or merman with a bird-like beak, a bird beak-like mouth and 3 legs, who allegedly emerges from the sea, prophesizes either an abundant harvest or an epidemic.
Oh, and so their logo is a cute version of that bird.
And you're gonna want to pay close attention to what I'm about to say next. And instructed people to make copies of its likeness to defend against illness. Yo, how deep does this go?
Why does this man's head look like a Funko Pop? I don't have any fucking clue. This is the only character in either game that has character design like this. It is very strange.
I'm sure all of Japan or even the world tuning in on the internet
Thank you for sparing
shocked
us.
right now.
Of course.
I think he introduced himself to me before the show started. His name was Anders Kameji, I think.
That's his stage name, of course. His real name is Yoneharu Enda. He's a comedian.
I'd never heard of him before. He must not be very good.
Oh! Wow.
Oh, wow. And I suppose you can do better, asshole.
Wow, Tama's a fan.
Oh, Tama is voiced by Ana Iris Quinones, who does a lot of video game and anime voice acting. The most prolific black woman in anime voice acting at the moment.
Hell yeah.
She's got a ton of roles, actually, including she voices Nessa in any anime versions of that character from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Immediately comes to mind, but she's had a whole bunch of roles in a lot of recent anime. I partially know this is because a lot of chuds have been complaining about a black woman taking the roles of these anime girls, but we don't have time to unpack all of that today.
We just say, stay mad.
What do you know about comedians? Listen, comedians are all doing their best so they can bring people joy. And here you are, just...
Okay. I'm sorry.
Tama giving me a little free speech vibes here.
She is, in terms of character design, quite specifically a bit of a quote-unquote dommy mommy. You'll see. It'll come up. I've known Tama for more than half a year now, but I still have a hard time understanding what sets her off. I had no idea that was a sensitive subject.
They're being questioned by the police in the waiting room. Mr. Ryuki, aren't you with the police too?
Well, yes.
It's a podium used by the host.
Can you please ask him why he looks like that?
You don't ask people why they look like that, Rupert.
You do when they've got square jaw.
This is monitor for watching the contestants.
You've got Coke jaw, and then you've got this man.
Cube jaw, yes. Let's work up to the main characters.
Yeah.
An inspector's checking something. Oh, like a parody of what's going on 6 years in the future. That's fun.
I'm just an inspector.
Guy.
Why would you want to know my name?
We're both going after the culprit together. I'd like to get to know you.
Wow, what an honor coming from someone from Abyss. My name is Kagami.
My man.
Kagami. Got it.
Oh, I wonder if this is a degree of the game taking place both 6 years in the past and in the future.
I think so.
In the past you play as Ryuki, and then you play as Mizuki in the current day.
Yeah, like both characters investigating like their respective halves of the body.
And then what happens to communicate that information in between? Maybe through something like a morphogenetic field?
Or maybe through Kagami, the eternal guy.
What? You still haven't taken DNA samples?
Easier said than done.
Mizuki's
Most of
voice
the
actor
blood was
making a
drained
little
from the
bit of
body,
helium
so
there.
we have no choice but to take samples from the organs.
I guess it's angled so she sounds a little bit younger on this side of things, yeah.
Wait, hey, this is no place for a kid.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're right next to the body.
So?
So? Well, you could be traumatized for life seeing something like this.
I'm fine. I've seen worse.
Anyway, you're in the way.
Fine.
Damn, don't talk to the main character like that.
Well, there you have it.
Who do you think
So
you
in
are?
other
Kagami?
words, you don't have anything.
Nice try, kid. Detective from 6 years ago.
We work in the same building and you don't know my name. Can't blame you though. You're new. Metro PD, major crimes. Name's Ushidera.
Ushidera.
Huh. I already know all about you. No need to say it. Kurito Ryuki, 23 years old. Due to your excellent marks, you skipped a few grades at an elite private university and graduated at 21.
Oh, so I'm older than present day Mizuki.
Afterward, you went through training at Police Academy for 15 months and were accepted into Abyss last summer. It's incredibly rare for anyone to get into Abyss without having stepped foot on a crime scene. Don't tell me you slept your way in with Boz.
Of course I didn't. I took the formal exam and boss acknowledged my abilities.
You mean your endurance?
Sorry?
You're a young guy.
No, I was making the same joke.
Yeah, boss definitely seems more into the marathons than the sprints.
Ushidera, please.
What are you talking about?
This is an HR violation.
Imagine being one of the rare gifted kids that doesn't burn out before 19 and then you go and become a cop.
Well, Ryuki, when a man and a woman love each other very much...
She's blushing.
You don't have to explain it. I get it.
Unfortunately, nothing yet. HQ still hasn't gotten any reports about the half-body being found. Hell, maybe it's never going to be found. What if that body crossed over time and space to get here? It's possible, right?
No?
No, it's not.
Please, don't rush me. I'm doing the best I can.
Looks like he's just standing there to me.
The best I can.
Yeah.
It's all right now, because I am here.
Half mic.
What? Oh, that smile. Oh no.
Oh god, that's...
What a face.
What a fucking face.
Half for all, we are full-time heroes.
Wow.
What? Why is this a joke in this?
My Hero Academia, because the same voice actor, maybe? Couldn't be.
I mean, well, the voice actor, the English voice actor, is also reasonably prolific, actually. But I don't know. I guess in the intervening period of time, My Hero is probably one of the top 10 most popular manga in existence now, or at least in current syndication. So I'm not surprised.
You okay, Mr. Ryuki? I feel like you aren't exactly sound of mind right now.
Oh.
Ryuki can sometimes...
Oftentimes.
Get weird.
He isn't doing well mentally. Oh no. I see.
Huh.
Okay.
That makes that turned the funny joke into kind of a, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Poor
Well,
guy.
you know, just because you have mental health things going on doesn't mean you can't be competent at your job.
Oh, exactly.
Is it
Just
true
means
that
you
body
reference
appeared out of
anime all the
nowhere?
time.
Mm-hmm. And it's good that they've his workplace has organized a support network for him, even if they did have to remove his left eye to install it. That's extreme.
Listen, you've been on Twitter long enough to, you know, a lot of people lining up to give up an eyeball to get a Dami Mommy installed.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but
All right, Mama.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen him in the.
Yeah, he is actually Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Shinpei?
Shinpei?
Shinpei Wagai. That's his name. He was one of our members until just recently.
Was?
Yeah, he went clean. Left the life completely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he is a mook.
Yeah.
And where is he now?
Who knows? The moment he saw the corpse, he flew out of the room, white as a sheet. He's probably puking into a toilet somewhere.
Mama Kumakura.
Kumakura.
His name is Moma Kumakura. He's the leader of the Kumakura gang, which is under the Ujisaki family.
I know. The Kumakuras are known for being peculiar, even among Yakuza. But why is their leader at a live-streamed quiz show?
He's friends with Date, weirdly enough. And with Iris, weirdly enough.
Yakuza like that.
Anyway, it's real fucked up. Even people in my world wouldn't kill someone so gruesomely. That bastard. Scaring Tessa like this. Whoever did this better make sure the cops get to him before I do.
He stands pretty hard. Boss, I report directly to her.
Hey, what's going on with you? Memory problems? Brain disorder or something? You look like you're losing it a little.
Rude.
No, it's nothing.
Boss was invited here by Ma, a host from Kabuki Show. Ma told her, let's go on this online show together. It looks so fun. But immediately after she showed up, she was sent a Nile message that read, sorry, something came up.
Very happy that Ma is in this game, but also I don't like that.
Yeah, this sounds like a setup.
So in other words, he flaked on her.
Boss tried to go home, but the show's staff stopped her and begged her to find a replacement.
So she called up her obedient underling, huh? How convenient.
Yeah, you remember now?
Remember? You never told me anything about this Ma guy.
Ah, so Tama told you. After I asked her not to. Well, there's no one else available, so would you mind taking care of it?
I mean, sure.
What? Me?
It is my job.
I know this case could get dangerous. It might be too hot to assign to a rookie. But then again, you have a reliable partner with you.
I'll give you hands-on assistance for this investigation.
I'll ask about that later.
Iris.
Are you okay? She's trembling. No, not the camera.
Does she look okay to you? I already talked to the other detective. I want to go home already.
I know her name, without asking. Iris Sagan. I was introduced before the show started, and...
She was involved in the new Cyclops serial killings that happened last November.
Okay, that puts us in time where we all are here.
You read the reports.
Yeah, so I know enough about what happened. Mr. Date was also on that case.
Teleportation.
Are there multiple Tamas? So in the first game, Iba was the first of her kind. So it seems in this intervening period of time between the first game and I guess some months later, they managed to make a second one.
What?
That body teleported here from a parallel world.
Iris is a conspiracy theorist, by the by.
But only half of his body was able to make it through. That's why he was split in half.
Jeez.
She posits a lot of very interesting conspiracy theories in the first game, and you can, if you want to, follow up on them. If you want to.
If you really want the content.
Mm-hmm. Her name's Mizuki Data. She's a 6th grader.
Bubbles! No! The cat knocked over all my computer stuff.
Oh no.
Oh, and then she had the audacity to scream at me. I don't respect your tone, Missy. And you can roll on the floor all you want, but I'm kicking you
here
out.
to cause problems on purpose, she says.
Mizuki Date, 12 years old.
Stabilized.
Her former name is Okiura, but she was adopted by my superior officer, Kaname Date. That's why I've met her a few times before.
Like the time you carried Date home on your back after he had one too many rounds.
Sounds like him.
I don't know. Not his guardian, you know. He got all giddy about taking a long vacation. He's probably at a cabaret club in Meguro right now, pouring some ponzo on that Reika chick's fat thighs.
Okay.
Mizuki,
All right.
You're 12.
Who is Reika again? A hostess, right? Not somebody who we already know.
Is she in the first game?
No, we don't go to a hostess bar. Tiefblau is definitely a new location.
What? Isn't it obvious? Iris is totally freaking out, so I'm helping her calm down. When are you letting me leave anyway? That other detective said you still had questions you needed to ask. So...
Ask them.
Of course. Jin Furue, right? I've seen him online a bunch of times.
Whoa. No fat thigh shaming. Thick thighs save lives. I mean, there's no shaming, just irritation, apparently. 40 hours ago. Okay. Well, that's an immediate discrepancy.
Today is February 10th. Current time 2200, which means he died around 6 o'clock February 9th.
Yesterday morning.
There's
That's
hardly
the
any
kind of
blood left in his body.
Information in a mystery that just makes you uncomfortable. When you're like, that's not right.
I mean, there's definitely going to be... like, the first game got pretty fucking grim when it came to the realities of the murders that had occurred.
Yeah.
It's despite this being adjacent to Danganronpa, where the murders are cartoonish but violent, a lot of the kind of like actual physical harm that appears in Uchikoshi's stuff is precise, I would say, intentional.
His body must have been left with his legs slightly raised and the cut side facing the ground.
If you've ever played 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, the descriptions of the dead bodies in that, Jesus, very evocative.
Blood naturally flowed out as a result.
Sorry?
Aside, you played Zanki Zero, right?
I ended up not doing so. I watched a Let's Play of it through rather than playing it myself. I didn't think it would be my vibe mechanically.
Yeah, no, but the writing also very fucked up.
I think that one is actually more of a Danganronpa. I can't remember if he wrote that or whether...
I think he did. Or at least the team that worked on the Escape trilogy.
Yeah. Because I know that, like, you know, in terms of artist, and I think some of the scenario was like Danganronpa people rather than Zero Escape people, but I think it was the first game where they collaborated. Randa of Blood recalls the description of the first death in 999, and I do as well. Who knew that you could read the description of somebody's body fat being on the outside and going,
Yeah, you don't want the thing that's on the inside to be on the outside.
Definitely clean and visible. The cut appears to have been made by something far thinner than paper.
Thinner than paper?
For example, something with 0 thickness, like a 2D surface.
There's no such...
What's more is that it doesn't seem like the connections between molecules were severed.
Okay, this is interesting.
The structure of the molecules themselves have been cut.
Same information, but from different perspectives.
A little bit, so... The molecules themselves got destroyed.
So just a molecule cleanly bifurcated.
Yeah.
What in the world happened yesterday at 6?
This man had the worst day of his life.
Alright, let's inspect this sign.
Free?
Let's see if this angle is any better to actually go and get a reading of it at.
It looks...
Yes, it worked.
Oh, me too.
This is YouTube.
YouTube.
No, don't give me a fucking ad for Amazon Music. Ugh. Oh! It's a whole thing.
What the fuck? Oh,
I'll give you the audio. They can hear the audio on some
I'm watching it
trippy
too.
shit. Oh my god.
This... What the fuck? Now this is vaporwave.
Yeah, no, this is some of this I think was in the trailer and was like, ooh, glitchy vaporwave shit in my video games. Let's go.
Way too free.
And that's the entire. I'll let other people go look that up for themselves.
Yeah.
I hope that audio kind of came through on the microphone. Very strange.
I like how the first comment on that video is, I don't know how we're gonna girl boss our way out of this one, Mizuki.
I decided to not look at any of the comments. I knew that somebody would immediately put a spoiler in there. You're braver man than I.
Free is self-explanatory.
To set free or release.
So the phrase could mean something like fight to set free.
Or unravel yourself.
And face to bloodshed.
It's Jin Furroway, no doubt about it.
Oh, old school.
He was like an advisor who represented the young talent. I saw him a lot on the news online. But this is so strange. Why just his right half?
Anything else? Oh.
Evidentiary marker.
What's with that QR code?
The thing is, there seems to be an error in the Abyss communication system.
The action of something coming apart on a split dead body.
We're having issues getting online.
What?
So this is...
Come on.
This is to the player, do it yourself.
What? You got a problem with that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, literally.
A fight for freedom, huh?
Okay, so...
Anything else that I can look at here? Yeah. So the cameras and all that. Anything?
Is his face examinable?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
The identity of the deceased has been confirmed through facial recognition. Jin Furroway, 29 years old.
Oh, he looks
the
shocked.
CEO of Music Food Co. Ltd. He's also an executive at several IT firms, consultation companies, investment firms, and advertising agencies. His columns and essays are featured in various magazines and online media.
Is man one of
He's
those
quite a
wake up at
successful
4 a.m.
author.
with an ice bath people?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's going to be some like tech bro Elon Musk parody.
Look at the turtleneck.
Yeah.
Wait.
What is it?
This might not be related to the case, but I just thought of something. Ryuki, would you mind moving closer to the body?
He's missing one of his back teeth.
Such a detail.
Yes, the first molar of his upper jaw was completely removed from its root. Judging by the
Or, like,
impression
an
left in the
implant?
gums, it looks like it was removed just recently.
Ooh, I wonder if he had like a chip or something in that tooth hidden.
Yeah. Needed to have like a cavity for someone to install.
Isn't it in kind of like old spy films and stuff, they would hide like a cyanide capsule in their back tooth?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you still out of it, Mr. Ryuki? This is Studio Divita in Minato Roppongi.
Oh, so definitely out
It's
of
a
the city.
rental studio, mostly used for live streaming, filming, that kind of thing.
Live streaming.
Faith to face, fray to free. Anything else for me to do here?
So this is the setting, kind of Hindu mythology about
Jin Furue?
replication
Yes, of
and
course I know about it.
alternate realities. and
Alternate
fighting
realities are
for-
definitely a consistent theme in this writer's work.
I actually follow him on Twitter.
Twitter.
He cuts through all the BS of the modern world.
Oh no.
He's insightful, inspiring in a way.
You could have better standards than this, Kagami.
Yeah.
I remember
Kagami's
your
like-
name.
I love the name he gave his firstborn daughter. 12.
Oh, there's more about the face to look at.
By the way, Ryuki, there's something about the corpse's head that's been bothering me. It's hard to see from here, so here's the image I took earlier.
What's this?
Oh, the back of his head.
It's an enlarged picture of Jin's temporal region, near the back of his head.
Oh, he's been hit. There's a wound there.
It's hard to see because of the hair in the way, but there are signs of traumatic subcutaneous hematoma. In other words, there's bruising. I think he got hit with a blunt object.
I mean, Anaris is a good voice actor, but I really like this matter-of-fact delivery with a little bit of kind of like, I'm very experienced in this information that I'm giving you. Because the voice actor for Aiba is a bit more like emotionally restrained by design. And Tama is very specifically not.
It's almost like she fits, that the voice fits the design of, you know, looking more experienced in comparison to Ryuji. Ryuji was his name? Oh,
Ryuki.
Ryuki.
Someone hit him from behind?
Probably, but I don't think this is a fatal wound. There's no damage to the skull or brain itself.
Just knocked him out cold.
And as you can clearly see, his cause of death was being split in half. There are no other visible wounds besides the head trauma. He must have been cut in two while he was alive.
So, wild guess.
Ryuki, I've got a connection.
Bruising is because of the whatever was implanted into, or like it's related to the tooth.
Ah, maybe. Knocked out and then had the tooth stolen.
Maybe, or like, yeah, something hidden in there.
Oh, what we're going to go and do is take a very brief 5-minute break. I need to take a comfort break, so we will be right back in 5. See you in a second. All right. Thank you for waiting. Let's continue.
The QR code link. It leads to a ViewCube page.
ViewCube. There we go, very good.
ViewCube? You mean...
Yes, the video streaming site.
Whose account does the channel belong to?
No idea. It was registered using an alias.
Okay. Open it.
Oh, we get to see it this side as well, I guess.
What?
I'm sorry. Can you please open it?
That's better.
Oh, well.
Okay, yeah, here it is.
This is what we were looking at earlier.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
I'm waiting to see how the visuals of this will be plot relevant.
Get your mind freaked. Well, there's a lot of fraying involved.
These are definitely tearing their own models apart. Xavier Renegade Angle.
A little bit.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Xavier Renegade Angel is a very absurdist Adult Swim show about a renegade angel, and there's like it was notorious for its absurdist non sequiturs. Very hard to follow show.
What's wrong, Ryuki?
Oh, it had supplanted information in it, maybe. Oh dear. Oh shit.
Yo, my boy broke. My boy talking in Japanese. I wonder if that's intentional. Like the fact that it's untranslated.
Hey.
I have a feeling it might be characters at random, and because there's more kanji than anything else, it pulled those likely. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see whether that'll turn into anything else down the line.
Are you okay?
Yeah, everything's slightly pixelated in the background now.
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, you do not
Face
look
of
fine, sir.
Face of a man who's lying about that.
Don't worry about me.
Hopefully no one else. Oh shoot!
Okay.
Well, that's gonna make it a lot harder to inspect the body now. Live streams.
Yeah, this is all on Twitch. Ah, very late. Anime
Love a
intro
delayed
stuff.
opening.
Yes. Oh, there she is, Queen. Oh. Oh. Look at all these new characters.
Oh, there he was! It's right there in the opening.
Oh? Oh? Oh, straight up. Oh, what?
Yeah, this one seems a lot more, a lot darker than the first game, if that is even fucking possible.
Oh, that's cool.
Tasty.
And just hit me, nirvanA. Also, Hindu concept about escaping reality.
Oh, it's Brahmin.
What?
Just
okay. Here's your Hindu cake and eat it. Just how deep?
Buddha. That's not Martin. It does say Brahmin, I guess.
Brahmin.
I don't know why there's a foo character in there, but that might just be me reading it incorrectly.
You are familiar with it?
Yeah, I've been here a bunch of times. Ryuki is supposed to be here?
I'm certain of it.
Ryuki, the guy who's mentally unwell.
6 years later, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, and has a lot
let's
to do
go in.
with the whole escaping reality stuff, is at the place named after the Hindu concept of reality.
So, you know, like Death Stranding. I never played it myself, but the people kind of talk about how all the names are like meaningful names and are about strands and connections, and the main character is Sam Bridges and yada 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 yada.
And yeah, Mama.
Yeah, the naming the Somnium Files 1 had pretty heavy layered naming and meaningful naming, and I guess it's just increased tenfold for this one.
There's ham-fisted and there's just a pig between two slices of bread.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're an uncultured swine like me, these might be concepts that you don't know very well. But
True. I guess it's, yeah. I went like years ago on a Wikipedia deep dive into Hindu mythology, and that's how I ended up reading the actual Upanishads and the Vedas, so like religious texts. Because I had too much of that Wikipedia hit. Also, this man's not doing great.
No. This is you, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Ryuki. Hold on, let me get my grovel back. Ryuki.
There we go.
Come on, Ryuki. Wake up.
Oh, it's flushed.
Hey, I said wake up. Oh, look, a porno mag.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to work on Ryuki. I suspect Date would have woken up instantly.
Ryuki doesn't know what sex is.
They have to go and put that information as to why that's at all relevant. God.
He loves porno mags more than anything else and revered them deeply.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Bang happened when God opened the
Okay, enough of this.
Come on, big brother. Wake up. Wake up.
Don't. Cease.
Don't hurry. You're gonna be late.
Stop. How'd it work, though?
He's awake?
Nurse, pour some soy sauce on me, please.
What?
Right down the middle.
Jin Furue's other half was found. The other side of his corpse. The one we couldn't find 6 years ago.
Don't get.
The time of his death was around 12 o'clock today. What do you think that means?
No, nothing. Ah! God, I jumped.
Answer me, Ryuki!
I think it's
You were
time
in
for another
charge of the
drink.
HB case, weren't you?
Make it a side part, please.
Just what kind of dream is he having?
How should I know?
Should we try wink syncing?
Forget it. It'd just be a wasted battery.
I think it's they've not introduced it yet, I guess, but I think they talked about it in like promo material. It's the ability to do surface level syncs with people just by looking at them in the eyes. Anything interesting around here?
A liquor bottle. A freezer door. A menu.
One of the recommended editions, the lobster.
300 yen for a little scoop. Why not? Wait, hold on. 500 yen for a cocktail? Hell yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
That's...
Oh, I guess it's an ice cream sundae.
Damn. Same amount for the
$5
lobster?
for a light and dark beer. Yeah, everything seems to be about 500 yen or cheaper.
Damn.
Cheap restaurant.
Yeah. You have to,
It's
you have
a
to kill the
picture of
lobster.
Ganesha, the Hindu god.
Okay. Okay, game.
Ganesha is worshipped as the god of wealth, especially by merchants.
Just sleeping.
They're gone.
Where to?
I don't know. Maybe to the mirror world?
What?
Oh?
Geni, being this man. Full name, Gen Ishigane.
Okay.
I met him several times in the past when I was in Date's left eye socket.
So this is a whole person, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Geni is the owner of this fusion restaurant, Ramen.
Oh, he owns this place.
He runs it all by himself without hiring any help. Where could he be?
Why does he look
It's
like a
not like him to
slasher
leave his
movie
customers
villain?
like this.
Why is he swaying around and shit? Nuh-uh.
Why is he just corpse colored?
I assume that's a mask. He can't
Ryuki,
literally be like a weird cartoon
Tell me
mascot
about 6
face.
years ago.
His hands, they were gray.
I want to know all about what happened back then. The HB case and the explosion are related. If I can solve the HB case, maybe I can figure out where he is.
I'll take a double shochu curry shot.
Don't do it, man.
This is futile, Mizuki. Ryuki's blood alcohol level is 0.32%. He is quite intoxicated.
I guess that's high.
That's very high because blood alcohol is normally measured in promille, which is parts of 1,000 instead of 100.
Oh.
So if it's 0.3%, that's high. That's a high one.
Dangerously high.
In fairness, the reason he's like this now is because of that incident. He had psychological issues before, but the events of the case deepened his condition. As you can see, he now spends his days drowning himself in alcohol.
So if we solve this case, we might be able to heal his trauma?
It's
not how that works.
Then it's all the more reason for him to help. For his own sake, too.
For him to help. Mizuki.
Still, I doubt he would wake up even if you cut his eyelids off. What will you do?
Isn't it obvious? I'll sync with him.
All right.
Yes. Back to base.
Wait, so we just drag his ass back to HQ?
Hell yeah, I do.
I mean, glad that we get to have a syncing tutorial on stream, because I was wondering, you know, that got introduced quite quickly in the first game. So,
very curious how our main character is gonna look like.
Oh, Puce is still around.
Oh, there he is. Mizuki, select your starter. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. His real name is Futa Amano, but everyone calls him Puta. Like me, he is a member of Abyss, a genius engineer who manages to sync a system and other machines. He's also Iva's creator and takes care of her maintenance.
Wait, you didn't see her at the stadium?
I did, but she's not back yet?
Of course not. This is Boss we're talking about. She's probably at a host club in Kabukicho, licking the salt off her third tequila shot right about now.
Everyone's very irresponsible.
God forbid women do anything.
I mean, it kind of feels like she's supposed to be on the clock, but
Listen, what we knew, right, from the first game, like how she acts. Like, wasn't she also?
I got the report.
Not necessarily a horn dog. I do wonder how much of that was other characters layering that on her, but she definitely had a very devil-may-care attitude about most things.
Yeah.
Jin Furroway's right half was found in Studio Divita 6 years ago. The other half was found at the stadium today, correct? The corpse's estimated time of death was around 12 today. No signs of the body having been frozen. And Jin doesn't have any twins. The theory of the right and left half belonging to different people was debunked earlier, too.
What do you mean?
We got the DNA results. The DNA extracted from Jin's right half 6 years ago. The base sequence was an exact match with the left half that was found. A 100% match. They definitely belong to the same person. The right half was found 6 years ago on February 10th. Today is also February 10th.
Oh.
What could it mean?
The same day, 6 years apart.
And the
Mizuki,
40-hour and the 9-hour difference
really intend to sync
was to
with him?
ensure that each half was killed on the 10th. Right? Or found on the 10th.
Would it be a problem because he's drunk or
I guess
something?
their points of death are different, but
yeah.
No, but what I mean is, you haven't gotten permission from Boss, have you? I understand how you feel, Mizuki. I'm sure you want to solve the HB case more than anyone. After all, you lost two very precious things due to that incident. Date, of course, and...
And? Oh, your eye.
Ah.
That's how it happened.
Your left eye. At least we didn't have to extract your eye to insert the AI
That answered your question.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing left to extract.
Oh boy.
I am glad the room was vacant. I don't do well with roommates.
Motel.
Listen,
also,
you shouldn't delve
apparently
too
they don't need a
deeply into
warrant
this
to
case.
just dive into someone's head.
Sorry?
They don't need a warrant to dive into someone's head.
I think it's usually written permission.
Yeah, from the police chief. Not from a
I have a
court.
very bad feeling about all this.
Don't worry. Boss didn't technically give me permission to sink, but she did assign the investigation to me.
Uh-huh.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah,
There will be no turning back.
I know.
I see. Then let's get started. What happened 6 years ago? Ryuki's memories may hold the answer.
No one figured to do this earlier?
Well, if he's I mean, earlier there wasn't a body that was from 6 years in the past around, I suppose.
That's true.
Mizuki, the time limit within Somnium is 6 minutes.
And after that, a very specific thing happens, but as far as we're concerned, it's a game over.
Stay there any longer, and your consciousness will be absorbed into the subject's mind.
I got it. This isn't my first time sinking, you know.
Okay then, let's begin.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Check in. I always really like these visuals.
All right, let's see what's inside your head. A joke that is only funny if you played the first game. Please.
I've been practicing. How's my dancing?
It's great.
It's kind of funny how Iba, when in eyeball state, is pretty straight-laced and then just entirely cuts loose inside someone's heads.
Yeah, looking good. Wriggling around like a freshly caught shrimp.
Oh, no. Not you two. I'm too cute to be a shrimp.
Hey, listen. Now's no time for a dance number. We have an investigation to handle.
Ah, yes. My apologies. I felt compelled.
Oh. Makes sense.
Seems a pretty tame dream, but...
Oh, Mizuki. Do you know your way around Somnia? If you are assigned to this case, you will be sinking many times, I'm sure. Would you like a refresher?
Sure. For the benefit of those who are watching.
Yeah, sure. A little refresher course couldn't hurt. Not that I need it or anything.
Understood. I will be ready to assist you when the time comes.
So this is essentially exploring somebody's dreams. Time works differently while inside somebody's dreams.
Got it. Thanks. All right.
Only when you move.
This desk and camera are from the interrogation room.
But there's no walls or ceiling. What am I supposed to do in a place this bare?
Well, before anything... Somnium scan! Activate!
Yeah!
Okay, 3 of them. Ryuki is trapped in hallucinations. Help him overcome them and discover the truth.
Can do.
This layer of Ryuki's Somnium appears to have 3 mental locks.
So I gotta unlock those, right?
Correct. By doing so, you can travel deeper into his psyche.
Thinking about that time with the forklift. Cutting loose.
The truth is found in the deepest layer.
Because this is a dream, you can do very, well, you know, do things that can only be done in the dream.
Remind them of...
Error.
Huh.
Well, you know, considering how he responded to having put that video into his eyes.
Okay, I'll start with this room first.
Right. There isn't much to interact with, but there must be a way to continue.
I wonder about breaking that two-way glass. Oh, it's giving me free reign.
It is the same two-way mirror as the interrogation room. Due to the lack of a wall, it appears to be floating.
Now this is where it gets silly.
Both of these take 0 seconds, so why not?
I know it's going to be mean, but ask anyway.
Mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?
It's me, Kagami!
Yes!
No,
Yes!
it isn't.
The Eternal Man! 5 eyeballs.
It is a two-way mirror.
I guess you get bonus resources for experimenting and trying things.
Let's do it.
Kagami is behind it all.
Oh, Kagami means mirror, so sure, that makes sense.
Oh, does it?
It went through.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
My hand is gone.
Aiba, you okay?
Just kidding. Sorry. Anyway, it appears that the mirror will not break.
Okay. So...
A folding chair. Same as the kind in the interrogation room.
Stand on the chair. Sure, it takes no time.
Stand? On the chair?
Yeah. Well?
And the thing about that light is interesting.
Well, it is now easier for me to change light bulbs
you
if
go.
necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Feel the light on the truth.
Nothing useful. Okay.
It's a folding chair.
Try sitting on it.
Because you're part of the interrogation.
Oh. What?
Ooh.
Oh, there he
Ryuki.
is.
Mizuki, now is your chance to question him.
Updated path. We're progressing through this puzzle.
Right.
In the previous game, the story branched depending on how you solved dreams. So there were actually a whole bunch of different paths through that game because you could essentially solve each puzzle, each dream twice. Very cool.
Okay.
Ryuki, I am sure your mother, watching you from heaven,
Oh,
doesn't want to see you like this.
I mean, that is pretty standard interrogation technique, huh?
Just let it all out.
Wow.
It will make you feel better.
This
Your
isn't
dead
working.
mom.
We need to ask him more directly.
Don't make your mother
Right.
cry, Ryuki. You can atone for your sins. And when we are done here, we can visit her grave. How does that sound?
You watch too many movies, I bet.
I think you're enjoying this way too much.
All right, let's be direct.
Ryuki, can you tell me what you know about the HB case?
Why do you keep making me remember? Damn it. Damn it. I was so close to finally forgetting. Please. Stop!
Aiba?
Oh.
Aiba, you okay?
Yeah, it just got really bright. What was that explosion?
That blue
An
thing.
eye.
Is
Oh.
it an eyeball?
That's hers.
Whose
That was
eye
her
was
eye.
that?
I think it was Mizuki's.
Mizuki's eye color is gray, I think.
Ryuki, do you know the culprit?
Oh?
What is this? Wait. It's a reverse sync.
They're brain hacking us? What? How dare he?
Ryuki's consciousness is flowing into your brain,
Biofeedback. Yo!
Okay. All right.
Doing that.
And so Tama is now cavorting around in Mizuki's brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, well, sort of Mizuki's apartment.
Yo. Yeah.
Huh? This is...
Okay, so this is how they communicate.
Mr. Date's house.
Cool. Oh, all the dream sequences in this game are so cool.
Oh man, that's so sick. Counter hacking dreams.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Soup?
Oh, by the way, did you snatch the costume DLCs?
I did. It comes because I wanted the soundtrack, and buying the soundtrack into the game was cheaper to do it in the bundle with the costumes. The costumes are silly, and I'm never going to use them. But but yeah, you can make Aiba and Tama wear like hot dog outfits if you want to, which no.
The culprit's name.
Oh. Well, since it was like the booming voice asking, is it?
Yeah, it's asking in the metasense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Intrusion thwarted.
Huh?
And that kicks Tama out of your head.
Interesting.
Yo.
This is surprisingly complex for tutorial brain
We've defended
dungeon.
against Ryuki's consciousness.
So is everything okay?
It should be. But it is peculiar. Usually, the sinker goes into the subject's mind. But for some reason, the subject's consciousness was able to slip into your mind.
Well, he's also somebody who knows how to sync with people, I would assume.
But you should be fine now. We have blocked the route of intrusion. We are reconnecting to Ryuki's mind via another path.
That's good. But why did that happen?
Yeah, because he's kind of drunk out of his mind. So I guess it's like a instinct.
Or Tama is doing some of the processing on his behalf.
Yeah. Like there's a mental lock installed that really wants to keep people out.
Oh.
Can't remember the name.
I see. So we've locked ourselves into a path, huh?
So if you had remembered the name.
Interesting. Okay.
I can't remember the name.
Let's go deeper. There's still other mental locks. New objective is close in on Ryuki, so we have to go find him in this much more
This place
destroyed space.
It's the cathedral.
Oh, so this is what you were talking about.
Ooh. We've not
is that rubble?
been here in our narrative yet.
It appears as though the collapse was halted halfway through.
Oh, it's Ryuki.
I'm sorry.
Ryuki's clearly gone through a lot, huh?
It's okay.
Let's go.
You didn't know better. Like
Wait, Mizuki.
Orange sweater with matching black and orange. Come on.
You can only remain in Somnia for 6 minutes, 360 seconds. For some reason or another, the passage of time in the interrogation room was slower, but that is not the case now.
You need me to find the info within 6 minutes, right? I got it.
While I remain still, time almost stops, but time progresses when I am in motion.
That's the system that Peter came up with, right?
Mm-hmm. meaning that you had to be, and some of the last Somniums of the previous game, relentlessly efficient with where you were running to.
I swear that pewter is like a
did
tech
not have enough
god.
seconds left
Thank
to do
you,
the...
ex-con.
That's an interesting way to compliment someone.
Anyway,
Did not have the
if you
7
are
seconds
stuck,
necessary.
simply stop moving and observe your surroundings.
It would just fail. Game over.
Look at the map and try to get a hold of the situation. Understood?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Go ahead and check that don't display this message again box.
I don't have that function.
All right, 6 minutes.
Let's go. Let's go.
What have we got in this map then? This turns out to be very, very important, being able to look in advance of where you can go and what you can do. It doesn't have any,
Oh, you're inside of an eyeball. You notice that?
This concentric rings is definitely interesting. No interactable objects, though. Okay. I guess we, Oh.
What's this?
Mm-hmm.
We're surrounded.
The rubble turned into a hand.
Ooh.
Ryuki's dream sure is creepy.
I mean, your initial dream sequence wasn't too, smiles and
Darn.
laughter either,
We cannot get
Mizuki.
through.
That was the playground, right? Or
It was the fairground.
We need to find a way out of here.
With her trapped inside the merry-go-round.
A brazier. I can interact with this for whatever reason.
Interesting.
Breathe out. Ah, yes, because these actions take time in real, quote-unquote, real time.
It looks like a normal brazier.
Touch it.
No.
Please, come on. Just the tip.
No.
Please.
Okay then.
You sound like your dad.
Hot! Or not?
So it's fire that's not hot?
This fire must have shadow traits.
Shadow traits?
Different properties from the real world. For example, consider fire that is not hot. It is as though it is missing a property that it has in the real world. These shadows are usually heavily affected by the nature of dreams, so we might not extinguish this fire in the usual predictable fashion.
Ryuki's dream is trapped by shadows. The shadows are blank.
It's okay, so shadow traits and alternative realities.
I mean, I think this is just the introduction of dream logic in the Somnium bits and pieces.
Mizuki, I have obtained a
It's almost
key.
too philosophical to not be.
What's that?
A key is a new function that Pewter came up with.
Okay.
It uses an
job,
algorithm
Pewter.
to clarify the rules of a Somnium world or the sync subject's psyche.
In other words, it tells you how the
so
dream
it tells you the
works?
dream logic. Sure, okay.
Correct.
Damn, we can do that now? Pewter's legit.
The sync system has evolved greatly.
The key can help with unlocking mental locks and better understanding the subject. By searching more, the key will be updated and information accumulated.
So
Okay.
the more I search, the more hints I get.
And the more time you spend.
Right. So it does funnel you a little bit if you push in the right direction.
I guess it just means that you're less likely to accidentally waste your time by investigating something. You might gain clues about how the rules work, even if you don't necessarily progress the game state. I'm stuck in the Somnium, open the lock to find more clues. Okay, sure. So to be able to get to this next lock, we can maybe understand some of the keys that's going on here. Okay.
0% reason to remember the name.
But that took some time. Let's go and investigate that torch on the other side.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a torch.
And that's the
It's on fire.
Yeah.
It's a normal torch. I can feel the heat of the fire.
I wrote this.
There is nothing different.
Oh, I see.
The shadows are always missing a single aspect. So I wonder if we can introduce heat to the brazier to make it complete.
So you breathe in the fire and then breathe out on the brazier?
That makes sense to me.
Breathe in what?
The torch, duh.
What do you mean, duh? That wasn't an obvious answer.
I want you to extinguish it by sucking in with your nose.
I have never heard of such a thing.
You'll never know till you try.
Fine.
I had a feeling that wouldn't work.
It was just hot.
Oh.
No, that wasted 15 seconds. How fun.
A brazier.
I always feel bad for making Iba do this. Oh, maybe the reverse then.
Okay, let's try breathing in on this flame.
Because
if this brazier is a shadow, we can't extinguish it in the normal way.
Let's try something that doesn't normally extinguish fires.
All right, suck in really hard.
I do have amazing suction.
You're so lucky you're not in Dante's head.
Yeah. Ow.
Amazing suction. Bravo. Marvelous.
10 out of 10.
Huh?
I guess you could say
Deja
she was
vu?
successful.
Looks like the shadow traits were the key after all.
Okay.
That rubble there. Is that lower than before?
Oh, as time
Do we have
passes,
another
it's
time limit?
dropping
If
the
we
rubble
do,
on us.
we cannot be wasting time. All right, let's chase after Ryuki. If you get lost, use the map.
Yeah, I know.
Can't be asking me to
Oh yes,
suck in
hidden
random things anymore.
eyeballs. So there are hidden collectibles, which I didn't actually really take the time to go find. It was like, whatever. But there may well be other.
Yeah, it's unclear what they're used for.
They unlock artwork and stuff in the menu to go look at.
Mizuki, you have 5 minutes left.
It's super unimportant, but
Hey, Ryuki.
It's not my fault. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Damn it.
Oh boy.
We're trapped in this space again.
But if we get rid of something with the shadow trait, maybe we can get out.
We have a little bit about the rules of this dream, huh? There's one who's up. Ryuki is blank. He's still holding on to blank and blank.
I feel like we're playing Cards Against Humanity now.
Okay. So this one is holding on to Brandy, and this one's holding on to the Evolver. Oh yes, he's still holding on to his alcoholism, I suppose.
Yeah, and also his gun.
It's a bottle of brandy.
The brand is Brandy.
Oh. And these have the additional kind of like side effects. So the game's going to explain, but it means when you take something, that little equals 20 will then be something that will affect the next interaction that we do.
Right.
So this is where the big puzzles of the Somniums come in, is finding the right order to go and do things, doing unhelpful things that might give you the ability to make something else faster or easier. So, for example, to puke the brandy would take almost an entire minute, but we can make it take 20 seconds if we inspect the bottle first.
Yeah.
It looks like a normal brandy bottle.
Is this Ryuki's favorite drink?
Yes. I've seen Ryuki drink this brand before. Ryuki was drinking right before the sink, which is probably why it showed up in his dream.
He's just a drunkard.
I do think Ryuki has a reliance on alcohol. Though it is all mental, it is not easy to overcome such an addiction. You don't have to sympathize with him, but you should at least understand.
I see.
Surprisingly mature of you, Iba.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! I got a timey!
You know what a timey is, don't you?
It's like a useful item that changes the flow of time, right?
For the most part. Timey is a material capable of modifying the way the brain processes time. By using this, you can slow down or speed up time in the Somnium world.
I invented it.
Some of them are unuseful, or not useful, rather. So,
You go, Pewter.
You cannot hold on to too many at a time, so be sure to use them as they come.
Me making Iba do just the zaniest shit just to get the =0 thing.
Yep. But yeah, sometimes you are forced to do stuff that adds like double the time to something, for example.
An evolver is floating.
Use the timing and reduce the time consumed by the choice. Ooh, this one has an equals 10, which is even better.
Shoot yourself. You should shoot yourself now.
It's an evolver. Standard issue for Abyss members.
Is it Ryuki's?
Unless there is a special request. All members are issued the same firearm, so we cannot tell. But there is one thing I notice.
What is it?
I do not feel any electromagnetic forces.
So it's not working?
The evolver utilizes electromagnetism, so it should be emitting electromagnetic waves.
I mean, I guess it's missing a property.
Oh, maybe it's one of those shadow trait things.
Perhaps.
So it is not currently electromagnetic. I don't know what that would do or mean.
And the brandy is not the thing that's missing something, but we have to induce electromagnetism.
It's brandy.
That word in some way.
So I can make puking it take 10 seconds. Because I think purging the alcohol from him would probably add some lucidity to circumstances. I think.
You do what you want to do with this alcohol.
Get
Why
rid
do
of
you want me to puke?
I thought it might help you remember when Ryuki puked.
Oh, wait.
I can try.
All right.
So, anything?
No. Though I am starting to taste something sour.
Oh, poor
I bet you
girl.
can taste sour.
Anyway, this is pointless. I do not want to keep trying.
Fair enough. Holding on to his regrets.
Up there.
Well, we're gaining a rule, and it only took 10 seconds. I don't know if I want to shoot anyone.
But you might have
an
to.
evolver.
I might have to. Although, evolvers are specifically non-lethal, so,
As long as you load the right cartridge, yeah.
I don't think any of the cartridges are designed to cause damage, but that might be me misremembering.
Are you sure? This might have ill effects on Ryuki's mind.
It's fine.
You should take this a little more seriously. My apologies, Ryuki. I have no choice.
Ryuki, now!
That's a real-ass bullet. It went straight through him, though.
Huh. It didn't hit?
It went
That's
through.
a good thing.
I guess there's no point shooting Ryuki.
Burdened by what happened in the past.
You have 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Stop bullying me.
It's an evolver.
Is it worth, excuse me, trying to shoot ourselves?
Well...
We can drink the
standard-
alcohol in like 1/5 of the time now that we've got this.
Yeah. The standard question to that answer is no, but dream logic.
Yes. I'd rather not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's brandy.
All right, let's drink the brandy.
If you say so.
Get crunk. Yeah.
Oh God, her expression.
Wow, that's how you're gonna drink it?
Woo! Oh, I'm feeling good. It's me, Iba.
Hi, Tom. We are in the middle of somebody's dream.
You okay?
Who is suffering from heavy alcoholism and is trying to suppress a previous trauma from 6 years ago. And we are helping?
Mizuki.
We are drinking his brain juice.
Pet you?
Pet me! Pet me till I explode!
I was bugging out.
If you don't pet me, I'm going to self-destruct. Okay.
3,
Oh no.
2, 1.
Iba, you're
gave her
scaring me.
alcoholism.
Get a hold of yourself.
My head hurts. Stop yelling.
I like how the time loss isn't necessarily the process of drinking the alcohol, but just going through the entire process of getting drunk in the hangover all within 45 seconds.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Should have never
Interpreting
told
that.
you to do that.
We had fun though.
So just interacting with anything, it seems to build the keys. It's in denial. Well, we've done almost everything now, so
It's an evolver.
Well, is the Alder Ryuji interactable?
No, I think there's only the two. Let me pull the map. Yeah, there's only the brandy now because we've exhausted the brandy and the gun. Yeah.
Well, cross your heart, hope to die.
Okay, let's not take 45 seconds. Let's just make.
No,
I can make it even faster at 20. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which method do you want to try? Inside the mouth?
Oh
below the
no!
chin, or on the temple?
Hardcore?
You don't have any second thoughts about this?
I do.
Yeah, she's thinking about
But
this.
my job is to support you, Mizuki. Above all else, I believe in and obey your orders.
I see. Thanks.
You don't have to do this,
In that case,
Iba.
can you ignore my
Don't
last
make-
command?
Exactly.
What the? Iba! Iba!
It was a blank. My ears are ringing.
Jeez.
Wow.
Your nose and ears have been through a lot today, huh?
I have other holes. I'll be fine.
What were you planning on using the other holes
Iba.
for?
Again,
It
too much
appears
Date
obeying your
influence.
command was the right thing to do. Good job, Mizuki. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Glad it worked.
Man. Oh. No,
Ryuki.
He previously tried, huh?
And that's a real revolver.
Damn it! Damn it! It's no use. Me dying isn't gonna fix anything!
Don't die. Haha, you're such a twink.
Are these feet?
Mizuki. I wonder if the tone of the other side of the Somnium would be much different.
I can't die yet.
Excuse me.
I'll carry this forever.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna take place in Mizuki's head instead. Oh, run away.
Okay. We're digging deeper, but
remember.
Get Ryuki.
Let's chase after Ryuki.
Let's go.
And we have 2 half times left. Oh, he's up the stairs. Ah.
This again.
No.
But now we know what to do. We need to find the thing with shadow traits and break it, right?
Yes, most likely. But it looks like we can only interact with Ryuki.
We can always retry if we get stuck or if we've wasted too much time. On this standard difficulty, we only get 3 retries, but you get more on easier difficulties. Which was, I think, a sticking point in the first game. It didn't have alternate difficulty settings for the dream sequences, and people got stuck. So you can even skip back to the beginning of the stage if that would be benefit you. But
yeah, refund all your seconds, and then you can just.
Hey, Ryuki.
it means you wouldn't be able
Rerun
to
it.
do any more rewinds afterwards. But you know, sometimes that fact finding is all you need.
I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm really sorry. I have to live with this for the rest of my life.
What did you do? Okay,
Kick
let's get the information first.
Aw.
He has a scrawny face, but it's a Ryuki that can be found anywhere.
Found anywhere?
There is nothing wrong with him.
So this Ryuki isn't a shadow.
Okay. Ah, there's another one up there as well.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Ryuki.
I did nothing wrong. I forgot it all. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my days.
Yeah, you look like you enjoyed most days.
Well, we do have abilities to spare, which we might as well use.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no point making the 5 seconds thing take 20 seconds.
Yeah. We can use a half on the agree with him, and that gives us a 1/4.
That's true.
This Ryuki doesn't have a shadow.
Ah.
And something's weird about how positive he is.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't have, I guess, reality? He's entirely
That must be the shadow trait.
lost
so we
in
should
delusion.
do the opposite of what he wants.
Yes, the don't encourage the psychotic breakdown plan.
Ota would probably love the praise, but this is Ryuki, the honor student we're talking about here.
Ryuki, you're doing well. Just forget it all. You did nothing wrong. No one's going to resent you. Boss and everyone else accepts you. Just rest. Take some time off. Enjoy yourself.
No, that's not.
Go find something to do.
Stop! It's all my fault! Which is why I needed to do something.
All right, our plan worked.
No.
This starts off pretty heavy
No
quite quickly.
forgiveness, No mercy! Never! Never!
Yeah, what I'm very interested in. Oh.
Does he blame himself for the body exploding?
I don't know what he's feeling guilty
Because
about.
it seems that every time he gets stressed, he explodes, like the body did. So maybe he thought that he was responsible because he viewed the video?
What is Ryuki holding on to that's hurting him like this?
Leading to something.
I guess we don't know what happened afterwards.
Yeah, because he showed up after the one half of the body showed up, so I don't think he's involved in the actual killing of the victim.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's that. I guess this is all conjecture, but if that video implanted something in his head and then made him do something, and now he thinks it's his fault.
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe he saw like across the veil, saw some sort of truth.
3 minutes left. You can do this.
Okay. Let's look at the map. What are our options? We have just question marks.
Wait, oh no, we have Ryuji and then something beyond him.
Can't interact with this body. But oh, this is a police ID.
Hey, this police ID is...
What?
And oh, yes, because excuse me, this is a cathedral that collapsed.
Ryuki!
Maybe he feels responsible for that, and we've not seen it happen yet.
That's...
He wasn't able to stop it from being destroyed in
sorry.
time or something.
I didn't think this would happen.
And then the Blue Man Group.
No, Jesus.
Oh. Always. Wait.
Blood.
Let's get out of here, Mizuki.
He can swap with the blue guys.
Okay, we unlock the third lock.
We win? Question mark?
We've made him realize the weight of the situation, but I'm not quite sure if that's necessarily a good thing for his psyche. We just...
This is the most victory question mark situation ever.
Yeah, we gained information, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Dispossessed. At least I now have plenty of eyeballs, indeed. Okay, I think with that, we're gonna go and get to a point where I can actually save properly.
Yeah.
And talk about our thoughts. We didn't dig too much into the game, but to be honest, that's probably fine.
Yeah. What we've seen is fucking sick.
I'm... real talk, I am probably going to continue playing after the stream's done. Yeah, just the ability to also rest my voice today. I'm sorry that we didn't go for longer. I don't think my body's up to it, but we'll...
good.
Save there. Excellent. All right, let's go back to the book screen. Whoa. Right. Already intriguing in the open couple of hours. You know it's a good mystery. You know it's a good mystery when the opening hooks make you go like, ooh, I definitely need to find out more about what's going on here. Because that jump, the kind of like this isn't the first game to go and tell a mystery story between two time periods, but it's definitely managed to make some intriguing questions immediately. The same body 6 years apart with very separate times of death from each other.
And I love the symbolism of two halves of the same story being represented by two halves of the same body, like it's to be unified by one thing that's been split, which like the alternate, which already for me, I'm like loving the philosophy behind this. Like, what if the alternate realities you experience aren't separate but actually fractured parts of the same whole? Seems to be like
have you played many other Uchikoshi visual novels?
I don't know, actually. Only the Somnium files.
Yeah, finish Somnium files. If you want like a book, like a book-ass book with puzzles, go and play 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Strong recommend. It's very good, but it's definitely more novel than some of the other games. The other games have a bit more gameplay in them. It has gameplay too, but it is very much primarily a horror novel. But all of them kind of talk about the nature of existing on different realities. No, excuse me. Don't skip the puzzles. The puzzles are genuinely quite good. Some of the later ones are quite hard. It's of its time, but it's genuinely a really good game, if that makes sense. You know, like the other games do more to be kind as a video game or more like a video game, but it's 999 is very good in its own right, and I think does a lot to kind of tell you about what Uchikoshi's like writing process is like. There's a couple of other visual novels that he did before then called like Ever 17 and something else, but they might be available in English or they might be Japanese only. Virtue's Last Reward is, I think, the best game of that trilogy. Virtue's Last Reward is absolutely fucking fantastic, but I think its impact is lessened if you've not played the first game. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, if you think this hook of what it's trying to talk about is interesting to you, definitely finish either Somnium Files, and if you have the time for a visual novel, check out his earlier work. Bees, unfortunately, you missed an entire dream dungeon sequence that was very interesting. So you missed a pretty big part, but you can catch it on the VOD, or you can buy this game yourself. It literally released just this week, and I already strongly recommend it. But to what we do on the other side of that play session is talk about the ideas that we can take away, whether that is thoughts about how it did its own storytelling, or maybe there's something about the game that inspires us that we would want to use in our own projects. I think for me is this was a game that, or a story that was very willing to get into the nitty gritty of people's serious issues quite quickly, rather than us taking a really long time to get to know this character and then learn the trauma that's underneath. This is hitting the trauma, but I don't think it's doing it like slapdash. It didn't feel slapdash. It felt like it cared about doing it properly.
Yeah, because you have I think the time difference works in the favor because you can show what happened after the 6 years, and you know, we still haven't seen or experienced what caused it to escalate to this far. So you know, whatever happened to this person, whatever happened to Ryuki's got to be pretty bad. So, and I think it's like the joke. I think like that's what solidified that kind of feeling when he made the My Hero Academia reference out of nowhere, and that was like a funny non sequitur, and then Tama going like, yeah, it's because he has mental issues, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It's I am very interested to kind of hear what happened to the before and the after for Ryuki. Like, I want to help him through his current struggle, but there was clearly something complicated going on with him before, and I want to learn about it, and I have it, and even though it's not necessary, even though this is not the earnest queer cyberpunk in the themes that we expect, and that may still come up. I don't doubt that it'll come up. I think that earnestness to depict difficult characters respectfully, I think still comes across on this vector as well. You know, plenty of video games also don't treat mental health very nicely either.
Yeah, and it's hard for a game where the central mechanic is your mental illness and your trauma are game objectives to solve. Like it is a gamification of certain like mental blockage of self-repression, that kind of stuff. And yet the way that it does that by characterizing like someone before you enter them is a good way to avoid just making fun of someone's issues. Because if you just go, like, imagine if the game started out with, like, I'm always thinking about the sequence of events, right? So imagine if you started the game with sinking into Ryuki and just showing him being an alcoholic, showing him being a scream lord and a traumatized like busybody, essentially. You're just shown like a comic representation of someone with just with boilerplate mental issues. But because of the sequence, we now know, like, no, the reason why is pretty serious. We also know there's not just from the trauma, because like he had pre-existing like issues in his head, and that is a very good way to embrace or kind of like enclose the game mechanic part in like a way to present it inoffensively, or at least in a way that's not gamifying it too much.
Did you play like Psychonauts 1 or 2?
Yes, I played the 1.
Psychonauts 2 is a really, really interesting progression on Psychonauts 1 with regards to that specifically. The writers acknowledge that in Psychonauts 1, Raz enters people's minds and changes things without asking. And that comes up immediately at the start of Psychonauts 2 about why you can't do that. You can't just try and fix people against their will, or get to the depths of their trauma against their will. And so in 2, not only is the general like nature of the writing reflecting that, Raz as a character always asks before going into somebody's head. Yeah, it's really good. Psychonauts 2 is a very fucking good game. If Inscription hadn't released the same year, it probably would have been my favorite game of that year.
Surprising. I would not have clocked that. Being a
it's astoundingly well written game. Like, it's a good platformer and a solid collectathon, but I don't care about either of those things. I just really enjoyed it as a story and how it took the time to, you know, actually explore that. I mean, in Psychonauts 1, him going into Boyd's head ended with him setting the asylum on fire. Yes. It was a lot of very specifically, let's not be irresponsible. Also, thank you for the follow, by the way, Rando. Sorry that you followed while we were mid-story mode and I didn't have the chance to respond, but I appreciate it. Welcome, thank you. Yeah, so I think that, with what we've seen so far, I expect to see that as a through line in this as well, where we would maybe have much more of a discussion about the nature of using the sync machine to do things. We already had, you know, in the previous game discussions about being able to, well, the surveillance and security when you're a cop, just being able to break into people's heads and not even need a warrant. Well, what if you do that and you irreparably fuck up somebody's trauma? You can't do that. That's unethical on so many levels, and yet it would be so easy to do on accident. So yeah. Are there any ideas that jump out at you that you think you might take away?
Have a cute mascot character always. No, it's like, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot in terms of idol culture.
Not in that opening section, yeah.
But what I did kind of appreciate is how appreciate for what it presents, not because I condone it, but, you know, just taking a drunk man out of a bar and putting him into the interrogation mind machine, and the lack of care that you were given, you know, the kind of like the silly freedom to just poke around in someone's brain, like we were just talking about, and how that is, for me, that is kind of like a meta comment on how an arrest process or an interrogation process itself can be a traumatizing act because of the lack of like respect or the over-reliance on intimidation or force and violence that detectives often employ in their pursuit of, you know, not per se the truth, but of a conviction, because those are two different things, of course. But yeah, it to me, the fact that, you just poke around in someone's brain trying to get the answers and things are literally exploding all around you in Ryuki's head. You know, that to me reads as a very clear comment on what that can do to a person. Yeah, I'm always thinking about, like, show me a video game cop and I will think about the police system in that game.
Rando of Blood brings up Observer, which we did actually play on stream. We played it for like Halloween last year, and we didn't really get too far in the game to get to its own premises, although it was a very pretty game. And the section of the game that I played through apparently was the circumstances where there's nothing in the game that can like get you. It still does horror stuff, but there's nothing that can actually like attack you and give you a game over, right? And it just so happened that where I stopped playing for the day is just before the threat of actually being able to be damaged by enemies in the game is a thing. And knowing that made me very reluctant to go back and play it, because I'm like, I don't want to go play a scary, difficult game. Oh no. I'm big baby. I would probably watch somebody else play it though.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, shout out to games putting a no enemy mode in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the set pieces walking through people's heads in that game, I think, is probably enough. It was like entirely pleasant as a walking simulator. But anyway, the fact that Rando highlights that it didn't care about its own premise bodes ill for where that game goes as a thing, because that is very much actually quite similar to the premise of this, is that, you know, you are a cyberpunk cop with the ability to kind of like neural jack into people to find information, and and you're supposed to specifically only do that in living people because their, brain stability is enough to kind of keep you in there and let you back out again. But the second brain that you jump into is already somebody who is dead, and the system tells you that is a very bad idea, and you have to do it anyway. And clearly it turns out to be bad for you. Who knew? The mind hacking stuff doesn't really go beyond cool visuals. So it's Bloober Team game. Oh, like the developers are well known for doing that kind of thing, huh? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because Bloober also did Layers of Fear, I think.
I mean, if they've done lots of horror games in the same style, I'm unfortunately unfamiliar. But yeah, okay.
That makes sense. Okay, so Layers of Fear, very good horror game, because of how striking its visuals are. Like, it does a lot with its visual language. Other than that, it's not an exceptionally well written story. It's about madness and using art to sort of like dress up that madness to what like is insanity. Like, as long as it looks artistic, you can get away with a lot of things. That is like an interesting angle, but most of the time it just, what if a painting bleed?
Sure. Okay.
And then there's The Medium, their most recent game, which gives you the basically you are a woman going through, I think, like Soviet asylums, which is a cool setting, but then it's just like all these people are extremely mentally ill, and they were kept here for good reason, and it was good they were institutionalized.
Okay.
With the ending literally saying, yeah, no, it's good that the mentally ill person killed themselves.
I see. Within the small period of time of me playing Observer, there was a B plot about like a sex worker trafficking ring that happens to be going on in the same apartment building as you. And it's implied it's something that you can look into, but it's clearly going to be you're already A, too late, and B, it is not relevant to the thing that you're doing, so you should probably ignore it. Which, okay.
Yeah, which going so far beyond the pale that it loops back into actual police work is just like,
yeah, it's very edgy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But I will finish Observer at one point. I will actively make the effort to go play it, then maybe get scared and turn off the game and then I'll go back to it. But let me actually get scared first. It might just be fine, and I'm psyching myself out. Horror games has never actually been something I've really done before.
Don't you want to enjoy being Rutger Hauer in a video game? That's my Rutger Hauer impression.
Ah, gotcha.
I am Rutger Hauer. I'm also in Kingdom Hearts 3. Did you know?
Are you serious?
I am completely serious. He plays the big bad villain. The big bad villain of Kingdom Hearts 3 is voiced by Rutger Hauer.
Okay, well, all right. Didn't process that. But yeah. I'm glad then that there are circumstances, because sometimes people talk about like, oh, this game kind of already exists in this other format and there doesn't need to be two games about the same thing. But if ultimately what Observer is trying to do then gets explored with actual narrative weight in something like the Somnium Files games, that's good. I'm happy with that. That's fine. Glad that there could be a cool idea executed by multiple different people. And then at least one of them maybe ends up good. And this is already looking like it's going to be a really fun time. I was talking a little bit about this off air in the break in between. I'm not going to be doing a playthrough of this on stream. It's definitely going to be too long of a game, and I want to be able to enjoy it at my own pace instead of trying to be funny or entertaining while going through the process therein. But I do, even from this short period of time and on the track record of Uchikoshi's previous games, if what you saw in the last 3 hours is something that you think is cool, I definitely recommend you go and give it a whirl. Or at the very least, I'm pretty sure the first Somnium Files is probably on sale at the moment, since it's the Steam Summer Sale and the new game has come out. So go give that a whirl too.
Give your eyes someone to look at.
Yeah. To round this out, I'll continue to keep this question, although I don't necessarily know how useful it is. What is Cyberpunk to this game? I'm going to actually go and see what I said for the last one, because this document has all of the Cyberpunk book clubs we've done before. Ooh. So, yeah, no, I keep a running file of it. Actually, hold on.
I think what's Cyberpunk about this game is the surveillance state made fun.
If anybody would be interested in looking through our previous Cyberpunk book club entries, it's there for you to look through. Either Somnium files. So this is what we said last time. What is Cyberpunk to this game? Digital assistants that are their own person, government enlisted justice therapists with legal access to your brain, and the new age of the entertainment industry. The internet influencer pop star, the personal lives they lead. We're beyond the world of Perfect Blue. We're beyond the world of Perfect Blue, although it's still accurate. Yes.
Wait, did we say that for the last?
For the last game, yeah.
Holy shit! Was I? I think I was there too, right?
Yes, you were.
Yeah, no. So we've gone full circle.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the sequel explores the same themes as the first one.
Damn, we were consistent. Hell yeah. Yeah, literally, the relationship between the internet famous and the public. So just I was curious about that idol shit too. It's fun to see. What is Cyberpunk to this game? Yeah, digital assistants with their own personality. I think we had a little conversation about that where Aiba and Tama are completely different in terms of like how they act, despite the fact that they provide the same service as like an AI assistant. And that apparently, and that's a fun detail I picked up on, is that Boss can just listen in with special earphones. So despite the fact that this is an AI assistant that is, installed in your body and enhances your
it can
your
broadcast
function.
a signal out to other people.
Yeah, it is still surveyable.
Well, it's a piece of government technology, so it makes sense that Boss would have the ability to listen in for, the ability to talk to each other as colleagues, I suppose. But yeah, this game specifically, though, the in-depth relationships between service AI and their owners, the use of technology in physical and mental therapy. Because and this is something that comes up in some Cyberpunk stuff, but not always. The relationship between augmentation and physical disability. Because there are so many things. It's like Cyberpunk, cool gun arm. Gun arm. There's a sword in my left wrist.
But wait, the more you use implants, the more your soul becomes foul.
Actually, we'll hold on to that thought, because there's a loop through and how games are treating that kind of thing now, which is quite interesting. But yes, the main characters, because Date already was missing an eye at the point that the narrative started in the first game, and then we learn how he lost it. And it was entirely separate to him having Aiba installed. Similarly, Mizuki lost an eye because of an accident, just a regular accident, and has this technology around to assist her with being able to see properly, in addition to doing her job. And with the male deuteragonist, his eyeball AI assistant is also there for dealing with mental therapy and not just physical therapy. And clearly there's some issues. It's not fully worked out. But the fact that they're specifically employing that technology as a means for helping him in his day-to-day life is specifically what assistive technology is for. That's what it's for. It's not for a cool gun arm.
Exactly. Though it is interesting that Tama, I'm also wondering now, like, what Ryuki's AI assistant is doing that she just let him end up like this.
Yeah, clearly something has gone wrong in the intervening 6 years, and I'm quite interested to find out what that is. But to what you were saying about the kind of like the discussion about too much cyberware and you're going to lose your humanity. A lot of books now, and it's such a small change, but to be honest, it's needed, and it was the only change that was really needed to like quote unquote fix this issue. Is that most tabletop RPGs and similar now, if they highlight the limitations of cyberware that you can install in yourself, they tend to say that ones to just have the shape of the body that you are comfortable in is easy to do. It might be expensive, but doesn't have much in the way of negative psychological stress, because you're not pushing your body to go beyond the human. You're just making your body the human that you want it to be. And with enough kind of like therapy time to install pieces progressively rather than just fully replacing your body all at once, it doesn't have a psychological strain. And I think that detail is what's needed, because obviously turning yourself into a living weapon is making yourself less human, because you are turning yourself into a gun. You're turning yourself into an object of harm, not a way of cementing yourself as a person. So I get that. That makes sense to me. So I think a lot of RPG books are specifically making that distinction in its content now to avoid that essentially ableist and, depending on how you think about it, transphobic way of talking about that idea. I actually got a miniature war game rulebook recently called Reality's Edge, because I've gotten really into miniature games recently, and this one's like a mini agnostic, so you can use any miniatures to play it, which I'm like, good. I don't want to like have to buy expensive proprietary stuff. But there was a section in here about how it does its cyberware, which I looked up first, right? I was like, how does this game do this? And it's not perfect. It does have a section in here about losing your humanity as a heading. But it says, which I'll read from the book, for the most part, neural interfacing and body augmentation are compatible and safe when done slowly over time and in limited amounts. However, even under the best conditions, the human nervous system, and some philosophers say the human spirit, is a fragile thing. Too much cheap and poorly done cyberization can leave mental and physical fatigue. And it's like that can be solved by like using psychological conditioning, but under extreme stress, such as in combat situations, an augmented human can break down. So it's kind of making specifically a point that, hey, if you're using your body as a living weapon, that does bad things to your psyche, which I think is true whether or not there is any metal in you. But it's probably much worse if you turn yourself into a living gun or a sword or whatever.
Turning your like what was it, like being more likely to get into traumatic situations will increase your likelihood of trauma, that kind of stuff. Especially when you're being a soldier. And I did not know that about that shift. I appreciate that, because I think there's an essential quality to, or an inherent unique character to being human, and that is tainted once it is replaced with metal. It's so puritanical.
Yes, and that so much of the old Cyberpunk did that. So much of it did. And even in rulebook, like early Shadowrun was all about that too, because your ability to cast magic was directly proportional to how much metal you had in yourself. And I get that as a mechanical balancing measure, but the way they explained it narratively is garbage, and I hated it. I specifically refused to engage with it when I was doing Shadowrun Anarchy podcast stuff.
Because you can have the balancing act, the mechanical, like the mechanics around it are fun to play with, and to like have that balance, like it's delicate and it's cool to think about. But the way you explain it is like the way that was explained
is all the difference, for sure.
Through a very distinctly ableist, and also just almost a Catholic lens, you know, of like your body is a temple. Don't desanctify it.
Yeah. Rando also mentions the who owns the stuff that makes up your body is the really scary stuff. And actually, if you want to explore that, the tabletop RPG Hardwired Island is very specifically about the interaction of capitalism in cyberpunk settings, and has a whole bunch of mechanics around that. So yeah. There are games that are specifically exploring these ideas. And are doing a better job at using a modern vocabulary and exploring those ideas.
There's also the real life case, unfortunately, of a bunch of patients who have received ocular implants, and from a certain tech company who like came on the market with these like high quality ocular implants that worked for a time, but were also, you know, they required software updates and had licensing issues. And the parent company went bankrupt.
And then those eyes are just no longer able to be serviced or maintenance.
And exactly. So people are walking around with eyes that are like ocular implants that are just slowly like blipping out. And there's nothing that anyone can do because the software and the knowledge and the tech and just the license is not accessible anymore. So these people are just slowly going blind because there's no one around to like fix it.
No, I mean the even a little bit within Somnium Fuzz, the first game, talks a little bit about when it comes down to it, how useful that piece of assistive technology is for Date, and when it's no longer around, how much that changes his life. And I guess now he doesn't have that eye anymore. I do wonder how he's kind of like continued on without it. I'd be very, very interested in finding that out. But yes, this has been a fantastic conversation. I love when I get to have like a proper full conversation about these, about the games after we play them, because there's I think a lot to kind of like actually engage with when the game wants to be engaged with. There are definitely some of these games that don't engage at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
always
good. It's always good to have, you know, like a little space carved into like the art where we focus on like, okay, let's actually have a big conversation about this. Like, what is actually being said? What is the text here? How does it tie into like reality? Like what are its politics? So many, like, I think it's a missed opportunity on Twitch to not have this, especially from like a little lefty and like a queer perspective.
Oh yeah.
You know, because the only counterbalance you have are like bros talking about like complaining essentially.
I can understand and kind of live with the fact that this form of discussion is maybe not the most popular form of content available on the internet, or at least not under this particular platform. But that's fine. I don't mind. And having all of this archive to kind of watch back on later and kind of look at it was really nice to be able to actually look at what our responses were for the first game and compare it to our feelings on this one.
It's fun.
Anyway, I think I probably need to go and wrap up for the day, so we're going to go and pass things on to Hasher Brown, who is a British VTuber and is currently doing a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament for Pride Month. Which is fun. Yu-Gi-Oh is not a game that I know very much about compared to other games, but I'm glad that people are doing Pride tournaments. That's dope.
Hell yeah.
There will probably be keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter for our next stream. The new DLC for Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak came out today, and I've been very lucky for Capcom to go and give me a code.
Word?
Yes. I was going to stream that tomorrow, but to be honest, if my voice has been this kind of rough today, I think I might just kind of knock streaming on the head for a while until I know that I've fully recovered. But do keep an eye on when we're next live. Very likely we'll be live next Thursday when Rafi returns for whatever shenanigans we do then. But until then, I have been your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades.
This is Tank Fly Boss Walk Jam Nitty Gritty. This was the boy from the Big Bad City. Hi, I'm Ruben.
And this has been the NirvanA Twitch channel. We'll see you all next time. Farewell!
Mwah.